on Rumble. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, going live on Instagram. All right. And we're good on Instagram. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, everybody. Getting an invite out to our Facebook people. Liv.
Yes.
Tell them what the topics are tonight. I'm giving you the countdown. You got 1 minute. Now let's try. Let's try it this time.
Let's try it.
Let's not just read them off because there's not enough time to do it. You gotta throw some color.
I will do my best.
All right, go get them.
Lisa, Regina, and Ronnie Marmo are finally in the house.
Yes,
Yay,
they are. They're
third
here.
time's the charm.
They're here.
There was active shooter drills examined. I unfortunately don't know what that one's about, so I can't really go into that one.
That one you can just read off, and then when you get to one you do, expand on it.
Remembering Hayden Panettiere, super sad. She was pronounced dead last night. Our daughter is named after her, so that one's really sad for us. XXXY cover-up. A mom and daughter spent $1,000 on seats to a WNBA game and told to leave because of what they wore.
Who would ever spend $1,000 to watch a bunch of women miss the basket? You know what I mean? It's like, honey, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Let's just go do something random, like eat caramel or spit on pigeons in the park. No, I got a better idea. Let's spend $1,000 on the WNBA.
Sounds great to me.
But anyway, we'll be back, folks. Whole bunch of topics. Remember, like, subscribe, follow, comment right now. Bye. I'm going to go to a WNBA game.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like your mouth knows up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn, show what you need. I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's
What if $5 was all it took to make sure a veteran's story was never forgotten? For veterans, storytelling is more than sharing memories. It heals, empowers, and honors those we've lost. That's why we created Heroic Episodes. Through our 50-50 partnership, half the funds go back to your organization, and half fuel these stories that inspire and honor our heroes. Sometimes all it takes is $5 to change a life. Join us, share stories, support heroes.
Sometimes all it takes is $25 to change 5 lives. That's what I gave. You guys can help out too. Please go to heroicepisodes.org. I plan to give more. I just have to cash my Social Security and welfare check. As soon as those come in, more money is going. You should do it too. Does WIC count too, Liv? Still, do we even get WIC anymore? If we go to a WNBA game, we should get WIC.
Totally.
The dumpster has a 5-star rating, a diamond transparency award, and over 500 reviews. Thousands of shirts, coffee, books, and hats sold. We don't sell crap. We sell stuff built to last. Shop now at thedumbshow.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Lisa Regina's in the house with Heroic Episodes, along with Ronnie Marmo. Olivia, tell them who else is coming.
All right, so I was fixing the
Gotta talk
links.
loud, Liv.
All right, so Ben Morgan will be here on Wednesday. Works for Chris Tantaparanto with the vodka. section of the business. You got Amber Hilliker. I said it correctly, Yane.
Hamburger Hilliker.
Amber Hilliker.
Amber
coming
May,
next Tuesday.
Vietnam veteran in Hamburger Hill.
Exactly.
Okay.
Scott Lord will be in studio next Friday to talk about his recent election win. Damani Felder will be here on September 4th. And then Matt Purdy and Olivia Rondeau will be in studio on September 7th. That'll be interesting. 2 Olivias and 2 Matthews.
Deborah,
That'll be fun.
we are praying and hoping for you. Of course, folks, we have $300 on the board for donations tonight, but we are going to get to Lisa and Ronnie, who are already behind a little bit because we were started a little bit late. Welcome, you two. Nice to see you. Lisa's on the top, Ronnie's on the bottom, just in case anyone was confused.
Well, I live in Burbank. Anything's possible. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So, folks, let's see. You guys are super busy. What's been going on? It's been a while since we've had you on the show. I popped in and saw you over on one of your podcasts. I think it was Thursday. Is that correct? Thursday at 7 p.m.
Thursday at 7, yeah. Heroic Episodes Live, and my co-host is Barry Morgenstein.
Yeah, it's interesting you guys picked a 7 o'clock time slot. I guess the competition didn't bother you over here, so no, it's fine. We love it, and we'll try to share some your way. It'd be nice if you guys stood in one night, and maybe we'll take the night off, and you guys can come in and do the show. That'd be awesome. But tell us about Heroic Episodes, this venture you're doing, and what stage it's in, and everything about it. I think people are super interested.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. And Heroic Episodes is in development, which means, of course, we're raising the funds. The good thing is we've already scouted locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey, and we've partnered with other nonprofits that have similar missions or their missions align with us. And the cool thing is these in-kind donations have really helped our budget tremendously. So now that we have everything that we need, now we just need to get out there and raise the money so we can fund it.
So
we want to
go ahead,
independent, Matt. Yeah, want to keep it independent, raise the money independently, because then that means we can keep our promise to employ veterans and to provide outreach apprenticeships to at-risk teens within Kensington, Philadelphia, and Camden City, where we're filming.
How did you get your partners for the? I mean, it was like Barry, and you got Ronnie and yourself. Is there anybody else behind the scenes? I think we're missing one. Is that Joe Montaigne? Is that how you say his last name?
Montaigne, yeah.
Montaigne. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to be careful nowadays because I'm about as white as they come, and I'm from the South, so I'm not very.
Not
good
only
at that.
is it's spelled uniquely, but it's also pronounced uniquely. Everybody says it differently. So
yeah, that's okay. I was just like the guy from Searching for Bobby Fischer, who is like the greatest dad ever. The greatest dad ever. Yeah. Like Wonder Years, just an amazing father. So walk us through it. How did you all meet? How did you come up with this idea? Was this a coffee or a cocktail napkin type thing, or was this some grandiose plan that you guys have had in the works for a while? Would love to hear about it.
Well, if I can, Lisa, I'll jump in. Lisa Regina, she has this incredible drone training program, which is amazing. And what happened was she had told me about how, when these veterans would come to set and help out on set, they had never felt that kind of camaraderie before anywhere else since they got back from serving. So they said on a film set, it was like, because it's really pretty amazing that if you think about films, everybody's work from, the DP down to the craft service, everybody's working for the same goal, and that's that next shot. And she said the veterans were so taken by that, then she started this drone training program. And once she told me all about that, I was just like, what an incredible mission and how amazing. My Uncle Ronnie fought in Vietnam, and, a lot of family. I never served, but I was really taken by it and thought it was wonderful. And then when she told me about the pilot, and then I read it, I was like, man, this is incredible. So I feel like it was in a lot of ways divinely inspired, Yeah, I mean, you're a good writer, Lisa. You're a good writer. Don't get me wrong, but it was very special. I was like, man, this is something. So,
Lisa, how long? Go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. It's based on true stories, veterans that I've met and interviewed over 12 and a half years. So those stories are incredible, and there's a vast amount of stories. So that's why a TV series, something episodic, is a platform that can really hold the vast amount of stories and really can transcend generations. I'm sure you know an incredible amount of veterans who, and their spouses and their families, we cannot forget those heroes. And the stories are vast. That's why it should be an episodic.
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan on distributing this, Lisa? Do you figure yourself going the Netflix route, the webisode route, or yes?
I envision it completely independent because it has been thus far. And I know that Ronnie Joe Mantegna, and you have to go like this when you say his name, Mantegna.
No, I got it. I got it. Like it's Italian, you know. It's like a beats. I get it. I'm on the same wavelength.
One of the only requirements to be involved was your name had to end with a vowel. So,
Right.
So Lisa Regina was like, we got to round up all the Italians with a vowel at the end of their name, and then you could be involved.
Right. And Barry Morgenstein he's not smart enough to figure out that his is an N. So it's a consonant. So he doesn't know that. Nobody tell him, please.
Okay, nobody tell him.
I was just completing your joke, brother. I mean, you already did it. I just made sure I just put a little.
No, this is what great comedy teams do. You know, they just kind of understand.
Well, we love Barry. Barry's one of our favorite people on the planet. So, okay. So, what, Lisa, when you're focused on this, where's the passion come from? We know. Obviously, you've had a massive legacy on this. I've had a chance to sit down with you and talk about your time as an actress, and now you have this amazing drone program. But this is kind of like the next step for you. This is a beautiful thing. So, what made you want to do this?
My personal passion comes from my survival, because as a survivor of domestic violence and those moments where I felt alienated, alone, I was in physical and emotional pain. I never want anyone to feel that way. And through the years, like I said, over 12 and a half years, meeting veterans, talking to them, the very first Vietnam vet I sat down with, he said, "What the F do you know about Nam?" And I said, "Well, nothing. I don't know shit about it, but I do know a little bit about survival, you know." And he asked me a lot of questions. I was very transparent with my story. And I realized that there was a bonding, trust happening right there, because he said, "Look, you fought your own war, and that kind of trauma is real. And we're not trying to compare, domestic violence to war, but it's your own battle that you fought." So it's really personal to me, because I always want a veteran or anyone in their family, because trauma has a ripple effect on the family. I want them to know that there's resources, there's support, they're not alone. And that's where my core passion comes from. And that's why I want to keep it independent, because at the end of every episode, Ronnie and I have discussed this, and our whole team, that we'll provide resources. So an episode will end, credit roll gets pushed aside, and then that leader of a nonprofit or a mental health nonprofit or whatever that resource may be comes on and says, "Hey, I'm the executive director of 220, and this is our mission, and reach out to us. You're not alone." So we want to be able to do that. It's more than a TV series. It's really a network of resources and support for our heroes.
Awesome. So let's just make sure, Ronnie, we understand, Lisa, what your role in this is. I think we understand Joe, and then Barry Morgenstino, his role in this. But Ronnie, can you, Morgenstino, make you an offer you can't
Apparently
refuse.
he didn't realize Lisa was on tonight. Well, apparently he hasn't been watching, because it's been up there.
Yeah,
on the,
we see you in the comments there, Barry. So Ronnie, your part in this, what do you like? How do you want to facilitate? How do you want to show up? What's your presence going to add to the process? Not that I'm interviewing you. I'm really interested to find out what your focus is and how you want to contribute to this.
I didn't know there would be an interview. Let me do my best here.
Yes, it's okay. Here, I'll put a light. I'll put a light in your face just to make you feel. Where were you on the night? See, come on, Kappa, tell me.
You don't think I've heard that in my lifetime?
Well, once you did this, I just assumed.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a producer on the project. I'm also playing one of the main guys, and honestly, I feel like I want to contribute any way I can. Joe Mantegna is a friend and a mentor to me, and I helped like get Joe involved, which is I'm thrilled. Although it didn't take much because this is so special, and
Hmm.
you know, and so I really, I'm grateful that Lisa feels like my energy and enthusiasm has helped and will continue to help. It's very rare in this business that you come across something that's not just an opportunity. It's like something you feel like you're actually doing something and you're helping and you're a part of something. And this is one of those very rare times. And so my intention is to be a trusted servant in any way I can, and hopefully do great in front of the camera and also behind. But I'm so passionate about it, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. So
Yeah. And it's interesting because I like whenever I had my main career, what I was doing, the side projects, I would always do something completely opposite of what I was doing professionally. And so you never know. I mean, what's great is that I've noticed that you guys seem to wear many different hats. Get into acting, some people get into songwriting, some people get into directing. So it wasn't a simple, hey man, what are you going to offer? It's more of like, hey, what do you want to do to participate in this, and how do you want to show up? So I hope you didn't take it like
no,
me
no, are you
grilling
kidding
you.
me? No, it's
Cool.
good no, it's actually good, Matt, to hear those questions because you kind of revisit your involvement and it makes you think out of the box. What do you want to do? How can you continue to help? I love those kinds of things. No worries at
That's
all.
awesome. That's awesome. Livy, did you
Yeah.
have something you wanted to?
Well, I went to one of the podcasts that you did, one of the first ones that you did for it. So I really got to like watch like the whole preview of it. You showed a few minute video of it. So I thought that was pretty new. So afterwards I came to Matt and I was like, we have to get Lisa on the show to show this, because I thought it was really neat to support it for you. So
Yeah. Lisa, how can people support? Walk us through it. What are you looking for? I mean, you said $5 can change a life. That, of course, right? I mean, money always makes things move forward. But for you, what does $5 look like for you if somebody decides to go ahead and donate? And what can you really do with that if thousands of people decide to help and support, just so they understand?
Well, I always say when there are many like-minded individuals that care about the same thing, if each person donates a small amount, it adds up. I mean, it's crowdfunding, right? But I always think in the state of New Jersey, because that's where we're filming, and Philadelphia, film credits are great, the tax incentive there for filmmakers. But I look at those numbers of veterans who live in the state of New Jersey, because this is for them. We will employ them in every episode, and we will honor and tell their stories. So I always look at that number of roughly 300,000 veterans in the state of New Jersey. If they each donated $5, we'd be in production. That would be our budget for the whole first season. That's 1.5 million, right? So that's, we have a budget of 950,000, just under a million, for 6 1-hour episodes. And that's really unheard of. I mean, Ronnie is
Yeah.
a producer. Very grateful that Ronnie came on board and talked to Joe Mantegna about the project and really introduced Joe to the project and brought him as our executive producer, because that means a lot. And of course, with his credibility and Ronnie's credibility, it really elevates the project. But we need to raise the money. But again, if every veteran in the state of New Jersey alone just donated a small amount, we'd go into production. We'd have the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Outstanding. So here's the first episode. Can you just kind of give people a little bit of a taste of the story and so they kind of understand what they can expect?
Yeah, the first episode, Ronnie's character, Michael McMullen, returns home to Philadelphia after service, and he has an injury, and he meets an urban teen who's being pulled into gang life. So he comes home from one war to learn that his neighborhood is at war because of the violence and the gangs and the crime that's going on. And he really saves this teen, but they wind up saving each other. So they're very unlikely characters that come together, and they wind up building a bond of trust and really saving each other.
It's probably one of the most important topics. Military transition is something that isn't discussed a lot. And if we're looking at impacting 22 a day, it really starts out processing from the military. And Ronnie, you talked about camaraderie, and I think that's what every single person who leaves the military misses, and they try to find that. And when they can't find it in groups, they tend to find it in seclusion and live in the memories and live in the past, and that's a dangerous spot to go. So the one thing I've worked with thousands of veterans in PTS, and the one thing you always find is that they left that camaraderie, they left that group, that unit, the swim buddy, the battle buddy, and they went into seclusion, and that was one of the major reasons why they got lost. When you are you going to use these as themes, you guys? I mean, and try to not only make these great stories, but try to bring something that resonates, that helps the civilians understand what military life is like.
Yeah, I would say so. A good deal of the stories are going to come directly from these people, or based on these veterans, right, Lisa? I mean, and the
interviews that I've conducted, man, that's like I said, it's boundless, it's endless, the amount of stories, and there's a lot of humanitarian stories that I think civilians don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not a lot of stories for veterans where they feel heard or people understand their situation, and so to really focus on that is amazing. And then to employ veterans, I mean, that's what Lisa said earlier. Is like we're afraid that if some corporation comes by and writes the check, they're gonna suddenly have to put other people on it, and the spirit and the energy of this thing has to involve the veterans. I mean, whoever's qualified, of course, and for those who aren't, we'll get them training, and I think that's what makes this so magical. And so we got to maintain some sort of hold of it.
When's our deadline? When do you guys are looking at this and saying, okay, this is the time that we want to be in full production? What are we shooting for here?
We want to be in production next the end of next August into the fall. August, because it's a lot of the young kids that are in this that will be in the filming process, they're home for the summer, so we want to shoot out all their scenes first while they're out of school, so we don't have to deal with them missing school and tutors and all that, and then into September. That's the goal.
Yeah, and pre-production, like the spring, basically, to get everything set up, spring, and then summer shoot and fall. So,
and the cool thing is, like, I brought up the drone training, Matt. The drone training program is through our nonprofit, A Right to Heal. Those veterans who are graduating as drone pilots, we'll hire them as drone cinematographers as we're filming. So it works hand in hand. It's really a community outreach, more than a TV series, if you can think of it as community outreach and healing for the whole community. And that's what I love about it the most.
Are you looking to segment the shooting and to do a couple of episodes or get a pilot out there so people can kind of cut their teeth on it? And I pardon my ignorance on this because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. I'm assuming that there isn't a pilot yet, or have you already shot an episode? I apologize. I wasn't aware.
No worries. The episodes are an hour each, so we don't have a full pilot episode, but we do have a proof of concept short film that we did for the pilot, which introduces Ronnie's character returning home and the kids in the community. You really get a taste of the tone and the texture of the world that it lives in. I always say it's like The Wire meets Karate Kid, because it has the heart and soul of Karate Kid with that mentor-mentee relationship. But the grit is there. The grit, like The Wire, the reality of the world they live in and what they're dealing with is there.
Well, I'm excited for it. And, I'm going to do what I can. And we know there's several corporations out here, GCO and Grunt Style, 9/11, Patch Ops, Combat Flip-Flops, all celebrate and spend time with Burbiz. And it's one of the largest unions of veteran businesses in the United States. And there's like 3,200 businesses that register for this, and they meet up all over. And so we're going to try to get you introduced to Scott Davidson and a couple of other guys who run that, and see if we can make some connections with the guys from Grunt Style or something else. But it's not a lot when you look at it, if, you know, 4 or 5 corporations jump in together here, it's obviously for a great cause. You're going to get your 501c3. It's going to be a tax deduction for a lot of these companies. It makes sense to do it. Is your 501c3 good to go? Are we green lit at this point? Or are we in the final process? Or
No, the 501c3, A Right to Heal, I founded in 2006, a year following my assault. So that's been a 501c3 status, you know, for a long time, decades. But Heroic Episodes is a separate LLC, but they will work simultaneously. And I'm glad you brought up all these veteran companies, because each episode is a perfect place for product placement. The central character is the VFW bar. So if you can imagine Ronnie's character, Mike McMullen, this, you know, Army veteran returning home, and all his brothers that hang out at this VFW, and the family. It's a real neighborhood place. So that's how we're introduced to all the storylines. And it's a perfect opportunity to have, you know, that Faith American beer on tap, or I know Alan Beal has, I'm trying to remember the beer. There's so many opportunities and so many veteran-owned businesses that we can place in every episode. It's really an open opportunity for that.
Awesome. Let me know if you need a low rent podcast to go in there, and we'll find a way I can, you know, scrap up some stuff for you. Listen, we appreciate it. We're going to play the video real quick so people have an idea of where to donate. We're getting a lot of questions about that. I want to make sure I give that to everybody in a timely manner.
Thank you.
Yeah. So folks, here's the link to this and a little bit about Heroic Episodes.
What if $5 was all it took to make sure a veteran's story was never forgotten? For veterans, storytelling is more than sharing memories. It heals, empowers, and honors those we've lost. That's why we created Heroic Episodes. Through our 50-50 partnership, half the funds go back to your organization, and half fuel these stories that inspire and honor our heroes. Sometimes all it takes is $5 to change a life. Join us, share stories, support heroes.
HeroicEpisodes.org. You can go there now, do a quick little search for it, or just go ahead and type it in. It's right there below, so you guys can go ahead and do that. Make sure, you know, $5 is not a lot. You guys know how it moves mountains for us. We hit goal most nights because of $5, $10, whatever. I also appreciate you guys hanging out on donations while we're doing this. Lisa, Ronnie, I want to say thank you. You guys are welcome back anytime. We would love people to go Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Go see Lisa and Barry doing the podcast along with special guests and get some great stories. Mark Geis is actually going to be here. You guys had him on last week, and what a great dude he is. So.
Yeah, he is incredible.
Well, you know, one of the things, Matt, real quick, one of the things we didn't mention is, you know, we can't obviously promise this specifically, but we'd like to reach out to actors who are veterans as well and make sure they're involved, whether it be name, talent, or whatever. So listen, you said it perfectly before. A few corporations get behind this. It's a tax write-off, and it does so much good for so many people. I have a great feeling about it. I think it's going to happen. And thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it very much.
Hey, no problem. We might even actually go to New Jersey for once when you guys start filming. So that's a place there's 2 places I said I would never step foot in. One is Beirut, and the second is New Jersey. So
listen, New Jersey gets a bad rep. Where are you? Where are you located?
We're in Virginia. So basically, commie Virginia. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, guys.
That's okay. You guys are one step away from it.
You don't have to stay there. You can move, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen my house?
We have kids in high school.
I ain't moving out of this thing. Trust me. This like right here. This is my 401k. This thing is my nest egg, and it's a beauty. And we got to wait for the Morgensteins to come down before we sell it. So we should be able to go ahead and do that by 2055. The way things are going with the Morgenstein stock. They keep promising, but they don't show up. It's really hurting our hearts. Well, the Morgenstinos.
I might actually be coming through Virginia. I do a one-man show, and I'll let you know if it happens. Because
you need to. We would love to have you over. Go buy a steak dinner and have you come on in and see the studio and everything else. And to the hut.
Lenny Bruce, his one-man show. You guys have to see it.
I would love to.
Lenny Bruce.
Love to. Folks, do me a favor, to the 150 some odd on, go ahead and stop on over heroicepisodes.org. See if you can donate. Appreciate you both. We'll talk to you guys soon, and God bless. Thanks for being on.
Thanks, guys. Glad you finally made it and everything worked out.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Two very cool cats, heroicepisodes.org, over and see them, and please help them out. Folks, we got a busy show tonight. A whole bunch going on, and we're going to have to speed this right along.
Barry said, give us a date. We are coming.
Dude.
Anytime.
Okay, hold on. April 27th is the first.
April 28th.
April 20. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. I don't even. I think I might.
Did you get it?
I'm trying to remember if I got it. I just don't remember where I put it. I did get it, and I just forgot.
Download it.
Yeah, but it's okay.
April 28th, because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
That's right. I've got it. I just don't. I didn't get a chance to upload it.
You can
yet.
join us for our anniversary dinner this Saturday if you want.
Yeah, it's Olivia and I's anniversary, so we're excited about it, and we're pretty pumped. All right, folks, donations are turned on. $300 is what we're going for. At some point, I have to change out my contact because I have them transposed.
Oh, ouch.
I have a wicked headache, and I can't see shit. Can you? So let's get to it. This video is XXXY. So, Liv, set us up. What happened here?
Okay, so a mother and daughter decided to spend $1,000 on tickets to go to a WNBA game, which means they've got money to burn. So I have a feeling in the winter, they just throw their money into the fireplace instead of wood, because who wants to spend $1,000 on going to a WNBA game? Anyway, they did to support Sophie Cunningham. And they wore shirts. I think one said like girl power and the other one said like XXXY. And they got booted out of the game.
Well, don't tell them the ending. Just tell them the premise. Like, we don't want to. You're spoiling it. You got to bury the lead. You can't give them the lead.
Sorry, that's why you should never have me introduce.
No. Just you got to tease them, but you can't tell them the end. Here's the video.
Simply for supporting Sophie Cunningham and her fight for fairness in women's sports. They tell Outkick that a security guard told them that they had to cover up their XXXY branded T-shirts because one fan was offended by it. Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. So they had been there through the entire game. Somebody came up to them, security guard came up to them during overtime and said, somebody's complained about your shirts. You've got to take these shirts, which I guess were given out at the game as gifts, and put them on and cover up your shirts. I mean, what do you think about all this?
I mean, John, this is amazing. I mean, this mom and daughter that we just saw on the screen say they paid $1,000 for these tickets. They were basically courtside, primarily because obviously Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were on the opposing team in the Indiana Fever. This took place in Atlanta. At last glance, there is a First Amendment in this country, and worrying about an XXYY T-shirt stating the most obvious and benign thing in the history of T-shirts, that there are XX chromosomes and XY chromosomes that differentiate men and women, and that somehow cannot be displayed. I mean, that's obviously, 31 flavors of censorship. And believe me, as sure as you were born, if the T-shirts worn were of the pro-trans variety, not one word would have been said. In fact, we know this because a T-shirt supporting trans rights was featured on the Jumbotron in that arena last night during the same game. And by the way, John, the Atlanta Fever, the same franchise, is where its players refused to stand for the national anthem last night, and then they honored who they called the Honorable Stacey Abrams, a two-time gubernatorial loser in Georgia and an infamous election denier. So it's almost as if the team is trying to tell certain fans, we don't want your business. Stay away. You could display a message, but it has to be what we approve to be the right message.
All right, so as you point out, another fan had been wearing a Protect Trans Rights T-shirt, had been put up on the big video board at the...
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know which button to push. Hang on. Well, nope. Sorry. Wrong one. Hang on. There we go. He went to change his contacts out. Sorry about that. I didn't know which button, which slide to push it to. So apparently I'm going to assume that the person that complained was the person that was wearing the trans rights shirt that was put on the Jumbotron. And the fact that it took one person to complain and say that they were uncomfortable for them to have to cover their shirts is utterly and absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, just ridiculous. All right, I'm going to put this in since you're coming back. And it's not up. Bummer. Isaac Castillo donated $25. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
It'll be up in 2 seconds. It's good to see
seconds.
Isaac. Where's Isaac been?
I'm not sure, but hi, Isaac.
Isaac, it's been forever and a day, man. Hope everything's good
Your
for you.
eyes okay?
No,
you look
they're
like you went and had a good cry.
Yeah, they're bad right now.
I'm sorry.
They're stinging us like crazy. It's also hotter than young love in here. What is going on?
Fan. You said you were really warm before the show started, so
Yeah, well, I also worked out, and that's
probably why. I'll turn up the fan a bit.
All right. Good enough. Yeah, contacts are much better. My eyes are a little bit red. I want to say thank you, Isaac, for the donation. We appreciate it greatly. So
the goal thing isn't up.
It is now.
Oh, okay.
So we had a chance to watch this, and my thoughts are this: is where do we end this? So when does the offensive Olympics stop? And I'm not talking about the WNBA because that never even starts. But when we get offended. So let me ask you a question. What happens if you're in a stadium and somebody wears an opponent's jersey? Can you say you're offended and you don't feel safe? What happens if somebody's wearing...
Only if you're in Philadelphia on that
right.
one.
If someone's wearing an old Cleveland Indians jersey, and you're like, well, I don't like the Indians. I can't stand that. Or the Golden State, and you're like, Golden State, what do they mean? Like golden hair, like blonde, so only white people can like that team? When do you stop being offended?
And it's the fact that the arena, one person complained and said that they're offended. Okay, you're an adult. Okay, go to your safe space if you're offended. The entire world does not revolve around you, and the entire world doesn't have to conform to your stupid ideologies of what is normal in order to make you feel comfortable. My life doesn't revolve around you, and my goal in life is not to make you feel comfortable in everything that you do. Sorry.
Right. Here's the video of them outside talking about this. Watch this.
Game simply for supporting Sophie Cunningham and her fight for fairness in women's sports. They tell Outkick that a security guard told them that they had to cover up their XXXY branded T-shirts because one fan was offended by it. Fox News.
So why don't they have to like cover up their trans shit and their LGBTQ pride shirts? And how come the only people who have to cover up stuff are Americans, MAGA, and anyone with common sense that understands completely that there's two genders.
Because we don't have sticks shoved so far up our ass that everything offends us. That's why. Yeah. Because we don't care. We're like, oh, well, I don't like it. Great. I'm just going to walk with the other way. Or I'm just not going to associate with that person. Or I'm going to turn around and not look at their shirt. I don't care.
But it still doesn't answer the question. What happens if where does it stop? If you're wearing a Van Halen shirt, and say, oh, Vaughn, oh, that's German, so therefore it's a Nazi shirt. Where do you stop? I mean, if it's simply just based upon your neurosis, and that's the qualifier of this, then where do we draw the line? Here's the rest. Exactly. Folks, do me a favor. We need to share. We need to like. We need to subscribe. We only have 12 people on X. That's freaking ridiculous. Nice to see that Facebook and YouTube are carrying the load, but we got to get it. Let's get some numbers on here. Thanks.
We got to go to the other video. We just watched this one.
Oh, sorry about that. Here's the outside the stadium.
We were made to cover up our XXXY shirts at this game.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes. They gave us shirts. They gave us T-shirts during overtime and told us we had to leave.
And this is for the girls.
Or cover our shirts up. This just happened.
Where were you sitting?
Floor
4-3 row
C.
Yeah.
Third row of floor 3.
And how much were your seats?
$1,000 each around.
Yeah, and we did nothing. Like we were just sitting there. I didn't make signs. I wanted to make signs, but I didn't. I did nothing.
They made us put our shirts on.
I did notice during the game on the Jumbotron, they put up a woman wearing a shirt that said "Protect Trans Rights" or something.
She's the one who told on
because she was made to zip up her jacket.
So she also had to zip up her jacket?
Oh, okay.
I think
but that's bullshit too. She shouldn't
Yeah.
have to
But they put her.
Yeah, it might be bullshit, but if now hold on a second. Now this changes everything. So hold on, let's watch the
On the
rest.
Jumbotron.
I know.
It's almost like the message was made and they said, now zip it up, to make it seem like they're consistent, but they never were.
Yeah. No, never are.
And why did you spend so much on tickets? Why was it important for you to be here today?
To support Sophie Cunningham and to support women and women's sports, because it's just common sense.
And what's the relation here?
That's my daughter.
And are you an athlete?
I used to be until I had a bunch of knee surgery.
What sport?
I did all sorts here. I did soccer. I did all of that.
Yeah.
And did this issue ever come up? Like, did a biological man ever try to play against?
No, we're from here, so it hasn't happened here
a lot.
But I can't believe that just happened in
shocking.
Atlanta, Georgia.
See, it's amazing. You never hear them starting out with they covered up a Kamala Harris T-shirt or LGBTQ T-shirt. It's always they went after MAGA. They went after somebody wearing an XXXY. And then as an ancillary consolation prize, they decide to go ahead and start policing it with everybody. Well, why were they not told this before they walked in?
Exactly. And why was that person shown on the Jumbotron in their shirt?
Right. But how come when you went through security, you were denied entry? I can understand that. Because listen, no matter what we like, it's just like Facebook. It's just like on an airplane. You can't wear certain things on an airplane. You can't do certain things on an airplane. You can't do certain things at a concert. If you're at a ticketed event, it's a private event, and you gain admission, you have to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it works. Fine. So if it says you can't wear that shirt, then I'm absolutely fine with it as long as it's enforced against everybody. But at what point do we stop and say, you can go ahead and you can put, 1619 Project and BLM and all this other bullshit and diversity and equity and inclusion in the end zone and on the back of your jerseys, you can go ahead and put woke statements. But why can't we go ahead and talk about XXXY? It doesn't make any sense to me. This is why we make the shirts that we make. And honestly, I think I'm going to email Riley and tell her I'm going to make an XXXY shirt. And maybe just give her the proceeds because, it's her overall design and thought process. And I don't want to take anything from her, but I want to help with the cause. And I guess I could just go to Riley's page and pay $75 for each shirt, but I don't know if I want to do that either.
I mean, I could understand having a dress code that you've got, but it needs to be uniform across. Like, I remember when we used to have season tickets to Disneyland and we went there like every, couple of weeks. We were there almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a dude who was throwing a fit because they were not going to let him in the park and it was in summer. So, it's super hot. And he had a tattoo of a naked woman on his arm, on his forearm. And you could clearly see in all of its detail, it was a very naked woman. They wouldn't let him go in the park.
Where was I?
I don't remember, but I remember.
Was I licking his arm at the point?
That's funny. But they wouldn't let him go in, and his wife was going into the park and was going to buy a long sleeve shirt for him. But they wouldn't let him go in the park with that showing, which I totally get it because it's a kid's park and it's clearly a naked woman. It's not like it's just the head. It's the whole body.
Okay, so we got some info. Debbie says when they showed up, they were given T-shirts to wear. They were told their shirts were not permitted before they sat down.
Oh.
Well, then this is just people making mountains out of molehills. First of all, I don't believe that they should be censoring them at all, but that's not up to me. It's up to them. It's a private event. They get to decide. And if you go into that location, you follow their rules. You're the one who's going to a stupid, woke WNBA game. Like, do you want to help women in sports? Go give it to a cause. Go give it to a politician who's actually going to fight for Title 19 and fight for the women and the young girls in this country who are completely being ostracized by their own movement. I mean, the feminist movement has now turned into a farking joke who support these people, chicks with dicks. So I don't understand. So go give that $1,000 to somebody who actually is going to do something. The WNBA isn't going to do anything for you. They're not going to stop this madness. They're going to rewrite the rules, and they're going to say that if you don't identify and have a certain amount of chemicals in your body and estrogen shots, and you haven't been publicly a transgender for this period of time, you can't play in the WNBA. You know they're going to rewrite those rules. They're going to rewrite those laws. Okay, Donald says, no, I just read it. It was after halftime. So who's not right, Donald or Debbie? Who's not telling us the truth? Are people just making stuff up? So let's look this up. Let's get a news article. You know where to look. It's not Google.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, but
you taught me well, young.
You have it on your computer though, right?
Yeah, I guess
You shouldn't use on your phone.
It's just easier on my phone.
It's
That way I
actually
don't
not. Your
mess
computer's in
up.
your hand. It's right there.
Okay.
And then I can look at it too. You know what I'm saying? So let's find out exactly what happened at this game, because we're getting mixed stories. And if they did it at halftime, then that's wrong. If they did it at the gate, that's acceptable. If they did it before they sat on the floor, I guess that's okay too. I just would never have let them in. But see, that's the problem with these stories, is if you just listen to the ladies, there's half the story coming out. This is what I try to do, is to give you guys the entire story. So we're gonna get that for you, and we're gonna tell you what's happening. Okay, scroll it. Not that
Give me
far.
a short version.
Nope. 17-year-old daughter Annie was in Georgia residence. They deliberately wore shirts XXXY, a company advocating for keeping women's sports female. Nothing happened for the entire 4 quarters, according to their account. They sat and watched the game without causing a disturbance. The game went into overtime. That is when the confrontation occurred. Okay, see? So now we're getting the true story. Casey, here's the thing. Let me guess, the score was 0-0. That it was a confrontation occurred. Casey says arena security approached them because another spectator had complained. Okay, so this isn't even the rules of the stadium. According to the mother and daughter, security gave them, an ultimatum: cover the shirts. Rather than miss the end of the game, they put them on. Okay, so this is, they're not overreacting. This is completely targeting. It's ridiculous. They singled them out. They didn't tell the lady with a transgender shirt to cover hers. But once they probably said, well, why doesn't she have to cover hers? Then they told her to. This is crap. It's crap. Anything else?
Okay, so the WNBA, after it became public, they acknowledged that security had handled it incorrectly. This is not the league's.
Okay, go ahead.
Also, another reason it blew up is this is not the first time something like this has happened. A few weeks ago, 2 16-year-old girls were both wearing XXXY athletic shirts.
I'm going to a WNBA game with an XXXY.
At a Fever.
Okay, so what did the WNBA say?
Well, the Storm co-owner berated the teenage girls for wearing those. Let me see.
I remember that.
Okay.
So where's the WNBA statement?
Where?
It should be right down there below, is it?
No.
Okay, so where's the WNBA statement? We're going to get down to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm. My other question is...
Okay, Elaine says they... Wait, honey. They were just on Fox and they said halftime, Elaine said. Okay, so who's lying? Who's lying? Sounds like the story is getting mishmash to me.
Telephone.
Sounds like there's some multiple stories here. Because if it was halftime, then that's completely unacceptable. Even if the game had started, it doesn't matter. If you were sat with those shirts and then they came later and told you, what does it say?
The WNBA has not come out and made a formal statement.
Okay, say, I need the real story. What exactly? Give me the timeline. No BS, no bullshit, no supposition. What's the timeline? Who said halftime, the girls or Fox? No, you don't know this.
Okay.
You don't know the answer to this question.
Got it.
Because Elaine just said it. I don't want to give out any misinformation. I want us to have facts, and that's all we're going to do. So Elaine says she just heard on Fox, they said it was halftime. Debbie said that it was before they sat down. Dawn says it was before overtime started.
Hello.
I want to know what happened to Dildo Gate too. Okay, no, they said overtime on Fox, Carrie says. Okay. We're going to find out. Well, I'm going to put this to bed right now. Okay, scroll down. Here we go. Okay, say shorter, more concise bullets. Just give me the farkin' steak and get rid of all the fat. Shorter. Okay.
I said shorter, yep.
You can replay your video. I'm not worried about that. Okay, go back. Okay, here it is. August 16, Casey Thomason had her 17-year-old daughter, Annie, attend the Atlanta Dream versus India Fever game. They sat 2 rows behind courtside and wore the shirts the entire 4 quarters of that incident. The game goes into overtime, tied 81-81. They scored 81 points. Wow. It's impressive. 162 points. Holy shit. So you can't do that anymore.
Are you serious? Yep. Holy shit.
The game goes in overtime. With roughly 2 minutes left in overtime, WNBA league security approaches them. Okay, now here's the story now. Another fan complained about their shirts. Security tells them to cover the shirts or leave or be removed. Security provides shirts for them to cover the XXXY. They comply and stay for the rest of the game. They were not actually kicked out. Indiana wins 95-91. The NBA confirms league security asked fans to cover their shirts and states this should not have happened. The claim that the women wearing the Protect Trans Rights shirt was the person who complained comes from the Thomas's account. So, folks, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say moving the goalpost, flags on the play. Okay?
And there's a flag on the play.
So we've got 15 different versions of this story. That's the one. That's the official one. That takes all eyewitness accounts. They were asked at halftime. That's wrong. Our end of game going in overtime. That's wrong. And the person, you heard him, the person with the trans shirt, they said she shouldn't have to cover it either. And I agree with that. Nobody should have to cover this. All right.
It's an actual shirt. It's not like they made the shirt. It's a shirt from an actual company.
Right.
And again, I'm so confused at why the WNBA is selling tickets for $1,000 pop. I don't understand how they can do it.
That is a complete...
I eat morons like you up for breakfast.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I would never spend $1,000.
I haven't even spent $1,000 on going to a hockey game. I would for a freaking Stanley Cup final game.
I know something else you'd spend $1,000 for.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
Am I wrong? Okay. All right.
Having.
So now we know what happened. Dogs and cats, mass hysteria, living together. And that only took 20 minutes. So we should be done with the show by 2 a.m. Okay.
Awesome.
Guy in a garage. This is like guy on a buffalo. So you know how much I hate the HOA. Like when I think the Third Reich was
disbanded,
exiled to Buenos Aires in South America and Russia and the United States.
Yeah.
Balls is still here. Oh, he's look at him. Look at him. What a tool. He's going to cry.
Baby.
Poor
so
baby.
Upset he got banned.
Oh, baby's going to cry. He gets it for tonight.
Why do you have to be such a wanker?
I own you. Just can't get you to, you just won't leave. I love it. Just keep spamming the hate button. Keep spamming, please. We love it. Moving on. HOA, when the Third Reich was disbanded and spread all across the United States and Russia and Germany, was no more. And most of those guys fled to Buenos Aires. They all became cab drivers, HOA representatives, and the Karen that asked for the manager.
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty winger. I got to get that clip. So here is the guy in his garage at City Council. And they took video of him as he was sitting in his garage with his lawn chair, drinking a beer. And they fined him for it and said, you can't sit in your garage. A garage is not a part of your domicile. It's for cars. Here's the video.
So I'm not allowed to sit in my own garage with the door open?
No, nobody said that, Tom. You can sit in the garage. You just can't, look, folding chair, door open, watching cars go by. That's porch-type activity. Garages are for vehicles, tools, and storage. Relaxing, enjoying the evening belongs in the backyard.
There he is. 3 hours a day.
I don't see anything wrong with this except for being a Georgia Bulldogs fan.
You know, in our neighborhood in Texas, I would say half the homes had their garages set up as like man caves with TVs.
That's all we would do.
Anytime the Astros game was on, freaking half the garages had Astros games on, and people were watching.
We would always sit in the garage. I mean, it's who gives. This isn't your house. I think it's awesome. So they told him it's porch behavior. Did you just tell me to get on the porch?
That's what.
Like a monkey? It's a little racist.
So you're telling me I can sit on my front porch and do this, but I can't sit 10 feet away in my garage and do this.
How dare you?
I hate the HOA.
I can't stand the HOA. The fact that we give these pricks $110 a month for what? What do? They don't do shit. What do? Help me understand what they do.
The only good thing they do is they mow the common areas.
For $110, I already pay $200 for somebody to mow this property. Because it's like, if I did it, folks, have you seen the show Dune? Okay, that it would be like me doing that. The amount of hills. No, I'm not going out there and I'm not mowing an acre with a push mower. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, we don't even have a community pool or anything.
They don't do it. And there's people with shit outside their house and weeds, and we don't care. What am I paying $1,200 a year for? Not $1,320 a year for. I love when people say I would never live in an HOA. Well, I'm sorry, but
most houses are. In California, we got lucky. There was no HOA in California.
No, but everywhere else we've lived, there's been a freaking HOA. I can't stand them. When they told me what to do with my flag, I was going to tell them what to do with their flag.
The one in Texas was not bad. The one in freaking Albuquerque sucked. I
would live there. You know what I would do? I would hire my kids to sit there and just do nothing. Just stare at the neighbors.
I'd let my kids learn how to play electric guitar, violin, and drums.
He should start recording. He should have a camera and just every time a neighbor drives by, just record them and just watch them pop. How stupid. I mean, what a ridiculous notion, isn't it? Folks, donations $25 is where we're at. We need some help. Without you, we can't do this.
I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
Need some donations? I had a guy comment something stupid on my TikTok, and his name was Mr. Balls. There's no doubt in my mind. Mr. Balls literally has no life, and he stalks us and tries to live vicariously through us, and he keeps coming back and tries to get acceptance, but everyone hates him. Like, there's no... What's funny is that usually there's one or two people who will defend somebody. Nobody defends this guy. Everyone hates him. When he comes in there, it's like, oh, God, Balls, please. We thought maybe you had kicked off this course of this planet. Please. Matt, I have no HOA. I live in the sticks. Yeah, I live in the sticks too, but we have an HOA. Nothing I can talk about it. GarageBand would be good too. You know? What about raising roosters in your garage? Would that amplify sound when they're up in the morning and they start cock-a-doodle-doodling?
Yeah.
I would get motorbikes and just tune them up in the garage. We could just do this all day long.
Well, our neighbor does that for us.
Yeah, he's all right, though. Active shooter drills. These are actual videos from active shooter drills where they went in and gave teachers guns who were untrained. This is one of the most pathetic. Listen, is there something about teachers where they have absolutely no testosterone in their body? That they are literally just, everyone is effeminate. And the women are all frigid and angry, and the guys are literally where chicks used to be. Because this is pathetic. Watch this. This is bad.
Freaking.
Get the shooter! Don't run the key! Oh! She's in there! She's in there! Oh! Oh!
We got a wireless caller. This is always fun. Hi, caller.
Hi, Paul. Hey, Matthew, this is Joseph.
Joseph, what's up?
Hi, Joseph.
Hey, I want to talk about HOAs.
Bring the show down. Okay, turn off the show because I can still hear it, and then tell me all about it. What's up?
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead. You got like 2 minutes. Tell us about HOAs. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I worked on a board doing the HOAs, for 4 years. And they have back deals going on. It's like they have these preferred contractors or these contracts, and then they end up, replacing our roof 2 times for maybe a little bit of hail, whatever, and they replace 144 units, and we're all assessed. You know, like you get these big assessments, like $20,000, $10,000, or stupid improvements.
Joseph, when you were on the board, what rank were you? Were you a Rice Marshal or an Uber's lieutenant?
I was just basically a trustee or whatever. I wasn't like a treasurer or you know,
so
vice
let
president
me make sure
or president. But
are they all
you know
a
what?
scam?
I had my input. But
are they all a scam?
It's a scam.
All right.
And you know who runs it is the company they hire. You know, I guess they run the association in terms of who we hire to manage it. You know, like when you're on a board, you hire a management company to manage the property. But
yeah.
You know, so that's where it goes, and they always have their preferred contractors. So they got these.
So it's all back end deals, and I know. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
There's kickbacks, there's this and that, and it's like way overbid.
Yep.
It's crazy. But anyways, that's just my input.
I appreciate you, buddy. I love you. I hope you're doing well. How's Minnesota?
Well, you know what? Move here. You'll find out.
I don't know. I'm good. I already got Virginia. All right. I got to let you go.
I'm getting I'm going to hightail it out of here.
You
man.
get your ass over to me and we'll put you on the show or something. Like get closer to me or something like that. I got to go, buddy. I got to go do the rest of the show. I'll talk to you soon.
Joseph.
See you, Joseph. All right. So here's the rest of this video. This is ridiculous. You got to be shitting me.
What the heck is she trying to do?
Look, who's the person training her? I would be grabbing her wrist and grabbing her arm and putting that thing down and saying, ma'am, you are literally flagging the cameraman. And to everyone, just look at this. It's just muzzle awareness is just.
Help me! Help me!
She just got her head blown off.
Dead.
She's got a gun! She's got a gun! Where are you going? Where are you going?
Nice pie. You're already dead, lady. Dead. Dead. Dead.
What the heck? All right, check it out. I'm not insulting anybody in this video, but I am.
I'm insulting a lot of people in this video.
Hit a few points. When we create any kind of training, anything from driving school to how to bake a cake, we should start with what is the desired end state. When this training or this day or this block of instruction or the next 10 minutes is done, what is the takeaway for the student? What objective will I be passing on? What will they leave with? When we create force-on-force training, which is really meant to validate a skill. When two boxers spar, that's force-on-force. When two jiu-jitsu or grapple.
Seriously, if this is the guy who's in charge of the training, this is why people are confused. Dude, stop talking. Shut up. These people shouldn't even have a weapon in their hand. Fake or not. Fake or not. You're on step J, and you haven't even done A, the basic. Situational awareness, operational security, what's your exit strategy? Who's going to lead people out? Where are they going to go so they're not running around in the hallways? I mean, you have a million things you can do that don't require a gun that are going to keep people safer than what you're doing. Because here's the thing, is that you have so many freaking targets that you're flagging that you're going to kill innocent people, which is a risk. and they're probably going to die anyway. But if they're running around like complete assholes, they're creating more of a threat than the shooter because they're taking away your line of sight. They're distracting the shit out of you. So first, why don't you develop some sort of strategy to ensure that every single person in your building knows what to do, knows where to stay, knows where to stay in place. Then you have free and clear hallways, and you take away all the mass confusion except for the threat that's in front of you. But nobody's going to perform well in that situation. I'm not going to perform well in that situation because I'm going to be dodging bodies. And I'm going to have to leave cover in order to get a clear shot because I got assholes running at me 25 miles an hour. So start with the basics. What does everyone else do before you start teaching the people with a firearm what to do? But this whole thing of the end goal, and what are you talking about?
It was all confusing.
Guys or gals go at it and they are sparring. That is force on force. When you create this theater style training, which has a lot of merits, everybody involved knows that you're not actually doing the thing. It'd be like taking somebody that has no skill at rescue swimming and throwing them into the ocean without being able to swim. What are they going to find out? They're going to find out that they need to go learn how to swim before they try to rescue people. These scenarios are a very expensive and elaborate way to show somebody that they don't have the mechanical skills, the fundamental skills. Some people call them the hard skills, the individual thing.
All right, you know what you do? You don't do that. You don't do that because then what you're going to do is you're going to give these people PTS because they're all a bunch of sensitive Nancy's. Is what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to get 5 of those little Nerf sticks and that machine that drops them and tell them to go ahead and catch one of those things. And when they're 0 for 5 and they all drop between their hands and they're not fast enough, say that's the reaction time that you have engaging with a shooter to define if someone's a friend or foe. Let them experience that. And when they fail miserably at that, you're not going to literally post them on trauma. You have to unteach all of that. The problem is you're putting them through so much stress and so much intense training that's ill effective, that when you actually have to get to the good behaviors, you're going to be ingraining all those bad behaviors into them. This is why in basic training, they don't just give you a rifle, and hand grenades and tell you to go monkey fuck a football and go and try your best. It's introduced slowly. This is why we do t-shirts. This is why we do shining your shoes and we do making your bed. Because if you can't do those things, how the hell are you going to use a high-powered rifle? How are you going to use explosive ordnance? So this whole process should start in a classroom. This whole process should teach PI and proper entry and CQB, hand-to-hand techniques, how to use the things around you to go ahead and defend yourself. This type of training doesn't work. It literally scares the shit out of people. They make a mockery of it. It enforces horrible habits, and this is the result. It's a complete joke. Your thoughts? I mean, you've been in daycare, you've been in schools, you volunteered at schools. Shooter happens. What are you doing?
Well, we never did a live fire drill. We've done drills of all different kinds, but basically the one time we did a live shooter drill, just happened to be during nap time. We had to make a plan. Me and my teacher had to make a plan of what we were going to do. And we had to pick the spot in the room and take every single child into that spot in the room where there was no line of sight from anywhere. And that was the little bathroom that we had. So we had to put 16 kids in this little freaking 10 by 10 cubicle that was our little bathroom.
With what type of door?
There's no door on the bathroom because it's a 2-year-old room. So there's no door.
And what was the point of that? To make it easier to murder everybody?
No, so because all our classrooms, all the doors are locked, and they're locked on.
So they're trying to take away line of sight.
Line of sight. So from the windows.
I got it.
Yeah. So anyway, this whole thing, that would scare the crap out of me. The first time I did a handgun course in California, it was the first time I'd shot a handgun, and freaking, I was on edge for like 6 days afterwards. I was like anxious and nervous for like a week after.
Really?
Yes,
what?
I was. The first time in California I was. Because that's the first time I
Yeah, but a week?
It was a few days. I was just off for a few days. I was fine here. And here I had no issue. But that was the first time I'd ever shot a handgun. And it was also the first time I'd ever touched a handgun since 8th grade when my friend was killed by one. So I had some issues with handguns at that point, and I had never touched one.
Well, listen, if it's not something you've done a lot,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess it can be unnerving to some people. Like if you don't like the experience, of course.
So they all need to go and learn about handguns, and they need to go physically shoot one to see how they're actually going to react shooting one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, it needs to be pick and choose. Not every teacher should have a handgun.
No, not the woman who's literally wider than she is tall. No.
No.
And looks like she's ready to have a coronary. It should be the most athletic. It should be prior military service. It should be somebody who's been listen, you don't go fly a plane without a pilot's license and hundreds of hours of training. The same is true for engaging somebody with a rifle. The chances are that the person you're engaging, especially at a school, is going to be slightly more advanced than you are.
Mm-hmm.
Their reload times are going to be shit. Their target acquisition is going to suck. Their situational awareness and OPSEC is going to be bad. Most of the people in schools are students. That's just the truth. You get these mass shootings at malls and things like this. That's at the military bases. That's completely different. But in a school, the person who's doing the shooting is probably going to have limited amount of experience, and that's been the case in all these guys.
Yeah.
Most of these guys. So you have so much to teach, but for anyone to put them through this, I think it's a horrible mistake. It's a horrible mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, folks. Let's see. Caitlin Bennett on radical Muslims. Now, Caitlin Bennett, we've showed her on the show several times. Olivia will tell you that she found this. Tell me what this is about.
This is equivalent of the whole thing a year ago is, would you rather be in the middle of the forest with a man or a bear? This is an equivalent to a MAGA, personal Republican, / Trump supporter, or a radical Islamist.
You can't. This is what we were talking about: cognitive dissonance. The separation and delineation between logic and brainwashing is that you know what they're going to say. They're going to choose the radical Islamists because they can't possibly say MAGA. Because if you ask these liberals, what is the most dangerous group on the planet?
Right now it's MAGA.
It's MAGA. MAGA is the most dangerous group on the planet. Anybody who follows Donald Trump, they are the most evil, radical, extremist, racist, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, sexist, degenerate, gun-grabbing, deplorable human beings ever, neo-Nazi fascists. That's what they think. Arm the JROTC, yeah. Or let them use paintballs. Let them get hit with one.
No, no.
Let them feel the pain. Like, you want to teach teachers how to take cover and learn pi and learn proper room entry? Have that person have an airsoft. After about 20 bruises and welts, they're going to learn that shit pretty quick. Seriously. What are you doing when you've got essentially cap guns? That ain't doing anything to anybody. Use a paintball, which I don't like paintball. Just use airsoft. That shit sends a message. You get hit with airsoft, you feel it, and it hurts. It freaking hurts like a son of a gun. They'll learn real fast how to take a corner. About 2 or 3 times before they're like, I ain't sticking my head around there. I'm taking that shit in quadrants. I'm not showing any profile. That person possibly might see a left or right arm at 2 or 3 inches past the wall. But they are going to know how to do pi, and they're going to know how to pop corners. Anyway, here's Caitlin Bennett on radical Islam. But here's the point. We know what they're going to choose because they're brainwashed. Like, they can't possibly choose MAGA. They can't. Because if they do, they're giving in to their lie. Here it is.
More in common with a Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
Radical Islamist.
If you saw someone wearing one of those red hats chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here, who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
You would support the radical Islamists.
Yeah.
What is it about Trump supporters that you don't think you'd get along with them so well?
I'm gay.
But you would get along with the radical Islamists?
Yes.
And you're gay?
Yes.
In solidarity with radical Islamists, would you look at the camera and say in solidarity, Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar.
And would you say, "Make America Great Again" in solidarity with the Trump supporters?
No.
What is it?
Make me happy.
Bigger threat to America today, radical Islam or Trump supporters?
Trump supporters.
I'll say Trump.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Yeah.
I would say Trump supporters in MAGA.
I would have to go with the Trump supporters.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
I'd say MAGA. But we should be able to allow people to be who they are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. Yeah. There's no right to judge them.
So if someone came running down the street, Allahu Akbar, or if there was someone on the opposite side saying, make America great again, got my red hat on, which side would you run to?
I don't know.
As Christians, and we're following Christ, do you think it's important to call out radical Islam?
No, because it's a freedom of religion.
Yeah, it's a freedom of religion.
How many terrorist attacks did Trump supporters engage in last week?
So many.
Just guess.
Thousands.
If you're a radical Islamist watching this right now, we pray for your conversion.
It's whatever they want to do, then do it. 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 Whatever they want to do, then do it.
You are an idiot.
They are part of the problem. Well, they are the problem, not part of the problem. They are.
I think we should give them their wish. I think we should give them their wish. You know what Caitlin needs to do? She needs to do fundraisers. And she needs to raise money and say, I'm going to fly 100 Democrat socialists to Beirut, to Oman, to Qatar, and we're going to have them dress in bikinis. And even the men.
And where I'm queer.
I'm queer for Palestine.
Queer for Palestine.
Matt, do you believe our country is done? I don't think our country ever comes back. Like, we will never have the country we once had. Never. But that's been gone since 1967, truly. Our country will never be the same. Civil rights destroyed this country. Yeah. When you start, listen, and people are, Matt, why there? Well, there's a reason why. Once you allowed people to sue corporations for thought, it was over. It was over. And that's all that civil rights did. It didn't give any more rights. Can anyone tell me what rights were given and what other rights were added to the Constitution of the United States? What other rights were added to the Bill of Rights during civil rights? Please tell me. Just list them. List me one. List me one right that was given from civil rights. So the only thing it did is allow the United States government to sue corporations for thought. That's it. Now, am I saying that not hiring someone because they're black is right? No. But there were laws very easily imposed without civil rights that we automatically put in place. That equal pay had to be represented. Well, we've already done that. That red zoning laws and redlining laws were not acceptable. We already stopped those. A lot of that shit was put to bed in Jim Crow. A lot of that was put through oh my gosh, suffrage. Anything that wasn't was in the 10th Amendment. And the states ultimately had to go ahead and act a certain way, and it was for the 13 states in the South in order to bring them to heel. That's what civil rights did. Why do you think those 13 Democrat states were so against it and adamant against civil rights? Well, because they knew that those laws would impact them. But it was saying, enough of your state bullshit. You are now going to follow federal law. And you're either going to come to this or we're going to bring you to heel. And we're going to sue your ass into oblivion. We're going to freeze all your assets. You'll never have another roadway or bridge built again. Civil rights was the downfall of the United States.
I would agree.
The moment that you allowed the government to sue corporations for thought, allowed corporations to fire you for what you think, that was it. It was over. See, that's the problem. Civil rights. What rights were applied? So you're telling me all the states had to do was follow the rights and rules that were already in place? Oh, well, why did we need to go ahead and pass civil rights legislation in order to do that? Well, because the South wouldn't freely impose the will of the federal government to its people. That's why. But this all started then. And trust me, it's been eroded for a long time. And the 1950s communist push, the Manifest Destiny, the Great Society, the Tuskegee experiments, Japanese internment camps. We know all these things. But the downfall of society, you can find it resting in the civil rights movement. Matt, how can you say that? Easy. I just did. Because I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
Tell me what rights were passed in civil rights. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
You got it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I'm all over it. What?
Well, we're
rights?
looking this up. If you can, please donate to the show, thedumbshow.com/donate. $5, $10, $15, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever.
I'm a big fan of money.
Yes.
I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
Yeah, we're going to have to put up the clock. It is 8:26, and we're only at $25. So you
Why
guys,
is it like this?
You guys help
Are you
support
serious?
our show.
Yep. Holy shit.
You keep us running, keep us up, and keep us free and not behind a paywall, because we never want to go behind a paywall.
No, we don't. What am I doing? Putting up the clock, you said?
Yeah, we're going to have to put up the clock.
I'm looking for it.
But we don't have our little hit goal thing up today.
What are you talking about?
The meter thing, the green.
You didn't tell me to put it up.
I thought I did. So, but
33. Well, I'm fixing it right now.
Okay.
I'm.
You did a bunch of over the weekend stuff. You did a bunch of work on the soundboard and adding new.
I did. I did good stuff.
Yeah, you did great this weekend.
I was busy. All right. So there's that, and now we need overtime. That's why overtime's not up. That hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get overtime up. There it is. $25. There it is. Oh, that's not even where it's at. It's like right there. Yeah. Oof. Okay, so Civil Rights Act 1964 banned discrimination in public accommodations, employment, and federally funded programs based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. No rights. All those things were illegal anyway. They were just punitive damages. So they didn't ban it. 24th Amendment banned poll taxes in federal elections. Do we believe that somehow stopped racism in the United States? No. Voting Rights Act 1965 prohibited racial discrimination in voting. Fair Housing Act banned housing discrimination. None of these things needed to be passed. Civil Rights Act of 1968 also strengthened federal protections against racially motivated violence. Yeah, you mean suing corporations? Equal Pay Act required equal pay or substantially equal work regardless of sex. All things that were very easily imposed and were already happening in 33 states. No, 37 states. 37 states were already following these. The only ones that weren't were the South. So they basically put government ability to sue the southern states into submission to follow these policies, and then they expanded it to the rest of the United States. Do you guys know this? Started in New Hampshire, started in New York City, started in New Jersey, then Ohio, then it went through the Rust Belt, then it went to the East Coast, then it went to California. This is what's happened. And they started suing corporations who were already compliant and following this. But what they did is that they put their doctrination, they put their ideologies in place and started punishing people about LGBTQ. It had nothing to do with any of this. But then they expanded it to race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. Who the fuck said any of that? Why are they talking about that in 1964? Go ahead.
Anonymous donated $25. Happy Monday, y'all. Yes, happy Monday to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anonymous. $50. So they expanded it to cover anything and everything that was disagreed with. So if you were a white person in a white neighborhood and you're like, I don't have any black applicants, I'm going to hire white applicants, you could be sued for being racist if you don't meet that quota. How stupid is that?
Very.
If you work at John's Jackknife Jockstraps and it's all guys and you don't have any women because no woman wants to work in a jockstrap store, but your government can sue you or the state can sue you for discriminatory practices because you don't have enough women working there, is that okay?
No. It's just like I don't want a man working a Victoria's Secret or a lingerie store. Just me.
Well, now you can't do that either because that's different. Because Victoria's Secret, we want trans women there because that's legal, and we're going to sue you if you have a problem with that. See, this is the thing. It stopped people from having thought. Now, this is what you do. If somebody's racist, and you go to a store and you walk in and they're like, "Hey man, look at that." You know what I do? I don't shop there. I turn around and walk away. And so does 90% of the rest of the freaking country. And during those times, 37 states weren't racist and bigoted, and civil rights wasn't even on their mind. Civil rights wasn't even popular. National polls that were taken in 1964, 65, and 66 all said civil rights was not an issue. Nobody cared. The only people who cared were the opposition in the South. The rest of the upper states had no issue with this. They didn't understand why this was a big deal. Brown versus Board of Education, huh? Who? What is this thing? So this forced radicalization of punishing states into submission came from whom? Well, who proposed civil rights? Who proposed the Great Society? Well, it'd be the Democrats. Why did the 13 southern states that were all Democrat oppose it then? If it was Democrat legislation? Because it was directed at them. Democrats tried to build a coalition. They tried to expand. They knew what the Great Society was. It was focusing on African Americans, blacks. Well, what did they have to do? Well, they somehow had to turn that whitey was the big problem to all people, race, color, creed, and sexual disposition and nationality. Well, the only way to do that is to expand it on the 13 states in the South. Surrender those states, abandon those states, lose those states, understand that you're going to, and shift your concerns to the 37 other states. And sell them all in this lie that the whole United States is racist and that black people have been kept under the thumb. And that women were subjugated to sexism everywhere, and that the national origin didn't matter, and Americanism and patriotism were evil. And you were a globalist empire of white nationalists, if you believe this. And they expanded their frickin' voter base. They expanded it across the country. Places would never vote for. You think California was going to vote for this shit? They voted for Ronald Reagan. Even the 13 states in the South didn't vote until Ronald Reagan. It took them 20 years to vote for a Republican, 23 to be exact. But nobody will tell you this. This is Overton window shit. You can't say this. You can't say that civil rights literally destroyed this country. You can't say that. Because, oh, you're racist. No, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm not racist. That's the point. It wasn't a problem in the North. It was a problem in the South, 13 states. We should have done the same thing we did to the other states to conform, like Texas, and push on them to follow the rules and laws of the federal government. These southern states that were in opposition, there were plenty of other ways than passing federal legislation. You could have cut off their money, their funding, their school boards, their roadways, their bridges. You could have stopped a flow of free trade and buying goods from the South into the rest of the country. You think 37 states in the Union couldn't support itself without the 13 from the South? Of course they could. These states were inherently poor and were absolutely a money suck to the rest of the country. But that's not what happened. We decided to pose federal law and pass federal rules that allowed the government to sue corporations for discriminational practices, which then allowed those corporations to control you and tell you what to think, what to do, what to act, and if you didn't, they were going to fucking fire you. That's what happened.
You preach it, sister.
There's the answer to your question. There's the answer to your question. I'm spent. Pardon the language. Lefty thieves. You found this. Lady
Yes.
says that they're just trying to steal deodorant. That's why they have to lock up Gillette razors.
No, that if somebody steals soap, it's because they need it.
That's what I was saying.
And they're not a thief because they need it.
All right. Well, let's take that to fruition and legacy and thought. We'll do that in a second after we watch this.
Most of what we saw were crimes of poverty. People who were stealing things like toothpaste. People who were stealing things like, soap. And that means if you're stealing those things, you need them. And we are choosing to protect billion-dollar companies like CVS and Walgreens over the people who are struggling to get by. So I would say that the true crime is that there is such incredible wealth disparity in this city that there are people who can be thrown in jail simply for having a biological need. And so one of the things that I'm fighting for at the state level is to make sure we pass things like treatment, not jail, and that we hold the line on the incredible criminal justice reforms that we have done over the last 10 and 20 years that are constantly being threatened by right-wing media who are looking to fearmonger about people who are actually just in absolute dire straits.
I'm going to assume the, what is it, WIC or EBT or their card should be able to, they should be able to afford their soap and their toothpaste with their government funded cards each month.
Liberals
they're just freaking thieves.
Liberals don't shower.
Yours is better than mine.
Here's my problem. Okay. Let me ask you a question real quick before you put that in.
Yes.
Actually, put that in. We need it put in. Let's put it in. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
Olivia's putting it in, literally.
No, that's your job.
$51.99. Thomas Austin. Thank you, Tommy. 101, folks. That gets us a third way there. Thank God. Thank you. Wonderful. We appreciate you. That is amazing.
Yes.
Very, 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 very nice. Thank you.
Question.
What?
You said you have a question for me.
No, I don't have a question more than I have a state. Well, yeah, I do. Okay. Say you're a cop.
Okay.
And you see that someone was shoplifting and they have diapers, baby formula, and like 2 TV dinners. What do you think the cop's going to do?
The cop is most likely going to talk to that person and then probably end up buying that stuff for them.
Yep.
Because I have seen that before.
I have seen that so many freaking times I can't even begin to tell you. If somebody is stealing food, you would be surprised that most of the time charges will not be filed. Cop will pay for it, maybe even the manager pay for it, or they're going to get them to a place that has those things that they can get in shelters.
Yes.
So you may not be able to get those things specifically with food stamps, but there is government assistance for things like that. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's called like the degradation rule or something to that. The degrading. I can't remember it, but if people don't have the common necessities of hygiene, it's called like the degradation rule, and essentially that if they are in need and they don't have enough for toilet paper or toothpaste or soap, that they can go to any food center and get these items free of charge. So do I believe people are stealing deodorant and soap? No, I don't. Because people aren't going to risk that, because to get a 29 or 79 cent bar of soap is not where the rubber meets the road. It's the fact that they have to feed a family of 4. And it's not the toothpaste that you can get the generic brand for $1.97. It's not that. That's not where I guarantee if you go ahead and take a poll of every CVS and tell me your top 10 stolen items, soap and freaking toothpaste
not
even going to be remotely in the top 500.
Makeup, razors.
Razors are big ones.
Oh my gosh, razors are freaking
batteries.
huge.
Batteries are going to be a big one. Those are huge batteries.
Yeah, you want to know the two things that are when I go shopping?
Cigarettes
that are in the plastic containers that are locked.
Condoms.
Fake eyelashes, and freaking razors.
Yep, and condoms. But that's what's going to be stolen. So to sit here and say that Walgreens is going out of business because people are stealing shampoo and toothpaste, it's bullshit. Soap is not 29 cents. What I said, $1. What did I say? 79 cents. You can get a bar of soap for cheap.
You get the cheap ass brand.
You get the cheap ass. Of course you can.
You just can't get like Dove or something.
No. Yeah.
Actually, no. I use Dove and I get a 2-pack for like $2.99.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. You can get,
if you get like the freaking super expensive.
Yeah, maybe
shit.
20. That's why I said 29. I said 79 cents. But you can get a bar of soap. You can get a generic off-label brand like White Rain. I'm gonna find the prices out for you right now. So not 29 cents. You're right. That's why I corrected myself. I got ahead of myself. 29 cents is ridiculous. But you can also get those little
piece of candy for 29
you can get those little
more.
personal soaps for cheap. Yeah, 99 cents on average is a bar of soap. Lowest bar of soap. You can get 8 bars for 75 cents. So I said 79 cents. I was 4 cents higher. Baby formula is locked down. Absolutely. And honestly, if someone's stealing baby formula and I'm there, I'm going to buy it for them. Now, does that mean that people have to rely on others to get that? No, but there are assistance programs for this. WIC provides it's diapers, it's baby formula, it's cereals, Pedialyte, eye ointment, diaper cream, Vaseline, baby powder, which you should not use. Thomas says $3. I just looked it up at Target. You can order from Target online right now, 79 cents. 75 cents for a bar of soap. Go to Target. Yeah, I've seen people walk. I mean, that's the thing. I've worked at electronic stores. I've worked at big retailers. I've seen TVs walk. You're absolutely right. I saw somebody take out a canoe.
How?
From Big Five. And they filled up a canoe with all sorts of shit, snorkelers and Nike tennis shoes, and they put it on a cart. And literally just a cart, long cart. And it was held up. And one person on one end, one on the other. And they walked out with a canoe. Person tried to tell them to stop. They didn't stop. Threw it in the back of a truck and drove off. But you can get soap for 75 cents a bar. I just looked it up. That's not where the rubber meets the road. That's not where people are dying. You can get 10 bars of Ivory soap at Dollar General for $2.38. See, I'm not lying, folks. The 29 cents was ridiculous. But you know what? Do the math. That's 23 cents a bar. So maybe I was right inadvertently. You can go to the dollar store and get soap. You can go to the dollar store and get toothpaste. It's the dollar store. There are
now at the $1.25 store.
Whatever. But there's options. But if someone's having to steal food and diapers and baby formula, that's a different story. And I completely understand that. But that's not what's happening here. People are going into Target and stealing clothes off the racks. They're walking out with stuff that PS5s or video games. Those are the things that are locked up. It's not soap and toothpaste. It's not okay to steal. I never said it was. But if my family is, I don't have another choice and I have no money and my family needs to eat, is it okay? No, because Olivia and I never stole. The worst thing that Olivia and I ever did is that we had, I think, a gallon of milk that was underneath the cart. And we forgot to ring it up. and it was tight. Money was tight. And Olivia goes, whoops, they forgot to ring up the milk. And I think Olivia will remember this. I went back in the store and paid for it. But younger in life, I can tell you that that's happened multiple times and we didn't pay for it. No, Gail, I know you weren't saying I said it was okay. I'm just telling you it's not okay. I'm with you. Like, I don't think stealing is not okay. It's against, it's a commandment. But I also understand that there's people who are in tough times, and those people should get, it's okay to help people. It's okay to help people. There's nothing wrong with helping people. And when we were first starting out, there were times where Olivia and I will tell you, we ate macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese and top ramen.
That was dinner.
The big spending nights, we put a fried egg in that top ramen.
Fried egg in the ramen. That was great. Yep, fried egg. So it's not like, but we weren't out there, stealing TVs and stuff like that. But we would do whatever we could to make ends meet.
I can tell you a couple times I would make sure everything was out, or if it was a big item on the bottom of the cart, I would say, hey, there's stuff on the bottom of my cart. And a couple times the person forgot to ring it up, and I realized it, and I said, you know what? I told them. And they didn't do their job, so I didn't go back in the store. But I was like, screw it. I told them,
But there's a difference. I'm not as concerned with the people doing the right thing when they have money more than I'm concerned with people doing the wrong thing when they don't have any money. Like, I can feel for people who are struggling and hurting. This is why we try to help out people as much as we can.
Yep.
Right. The biggest difference is that the people who need it the most are the ones who never ask. I just don't think there's anything wrong. God, I love that I trigger him so much. Do you know he's been hitting the angry button now for 47 minutes?
Dude, has our viewership gone up because of that?
It helps. He's too stupid to understand. It's only on the outside of the show. He can only hit it once. And that doesn't hurt us. It would have to be hundreds. He's too dumb to understand. He doesn't get it that the live shows are going to have positive and negative. See, he stopped. Are going to have positive and negative reactions inside of it. So any reaction makes the show get more viewers. Every time he does that, the numbers go up. He's just too fucking stupid to understand.
Yeah, we need to get the
No, it's not.
Balls.
No. The frown face is not bad for the site. I don't know why you guys say that. It's not. It's absolutely great for the site inside the live shows. And dude, did you see are you looking at the numbers? We've had 4,000 followers in the last 72 hours. The show has done 112 million visits in the last 17 days. We're going viral on everything. Hit it, spam it. You can't dent my show. You can't hurt me. Try. JD Stibble donated $20. Have a great night. Thanks, JD.
Thanks, JD.
No, I didn't tell you. Amy Stamcombe told you. And what I tried to say is that when a video first comes out, people hitting the angry button doesn't help. But on the live show, it doesn't matter. That was Amy's thing, not my thing. I'm letting you know, Thomas, that was Amy's things. Spam the hate button. I don't care. Spam any button. We don't care. It helps the show. Spam it. Hurt us. Hurt us more. Spank me.
Hurt me more.
Spank me, Daddy. Spank me.
Hurt me more, please.
This is for balls.
Hey, man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
That's for you, dude.
It's great.
Proud
you had fun today, didn't you?
I did. I made a bunch of cool ones. Proud to be transphobic. Here it is.
I'm not going to hold y'all. At this point, I'm going to have to accept the title of transphobic.
Tommy, and
I don't care what you do.
Tommy, I may have said it. I may have said it because Amy was saying it. I was wrong. It doesn't. It does. I've went through all the classes on Facebook. It absolutely does not hurt you on live. You can spam the hate. Everyone can spam hate because if a live has something that's negative, you should react. That interaction actually helps us. It helps us so freaking much. So do it. And like the show, share the show, follow it, all that other stuff. And if you want to go out and dislike one video, it won't matter. Did you guys see the latest? Look at the last 5 things on everything's going viral. Everything I'm posting is crushing. The moment that they banned my ad account and I stopped spending money on ads, the site has just gone absolutely ballistic. I wish I would have known this years ago. I wish I would have known this years ago. The hijab video, 265,000. Go look at the communist one. The communist got 32,000 likes. It's 1.6 million. Funny how the streets got a lot quieter. The USAID money one, that one's got 8,000 likes. You can't hurt the show. Try. You just keep spamming the hate button. We love it. We love it. We love it. Do it.
Your body. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what clothes you put on. I don't care. But there are certain things as a natural born woman that belong to natural born women. I'm not going to say cis women because I hate that cis term. I'm just a woman. Trans women can never understand womanhood in its entirety. You don't have a period. You don't carry a baby. You don't have a uterus. You don't have ovaries. Certain things they just don't have. So they cannot relate. Y'all ask us to call y'all she. We do that. Y'all ask to come into our bathrooms. We do that. Y'all ask for us to respect y'all. We do that. But everything that we ask for, it's, oh no, we're not doing that. We get to do what we want. Y'all can say whatever to us and make yourselves come into our spaces and we accept it. But when we say, hold on, that's too much, it's no respect there. At the end of the day, cis women, since y'all want to give us a title, we're born this way. The things we go through, we cannot change. We were here. You made a choice to come over here. So when you come over here and we're accepting, but we say, hey, here's a little bit of rules or a little bit of things that we just kind of want to keep to ourselves, why can't y'all accept that? Another thing, we keep asking y'all to stop calling us cis women. I absolutely hate that term. Y'all won't do it, but y'all want us to call y'all she. And we do it. We call you she because that's who that's the identity you want to go around with. Cool, fine and dandy. I'm going to call you she. But if I tell you to stop calling me something, why can't y'all listen? Like, the respect is not going both ways, so I'm finna stop giving it.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
She's right.
She's 100% right.
That's it. 100% right. I can't disagree with one single word. Black people are waking up to this shit. They're done. They're done. They were okay with the LGB community, but when they started adding the TQ, SPI, they're like, we waited 400 years. You guys can wait at least 4 decades. We're done. It's stupid. It's so imbalanced. But everything's crazy now. Women are no longer women. Black people are being abandoned by the Democrat Party. Have you guys seen how much African Americans repudiate socialism and Latinos? They hate socialism. The Democrats are in a very large pickle. Remember, they were just flirting with it in 2024. Just flirting with it with Kamala. Remember, she wanted to have grocery stores run by the government. Remember, she wanted to go ahead and freeze housing costs and apartment. Don't you remember all this? The socialist shit she said? And what did they do? Black voters like, honey. Do you really think that they're going to go for this Mamdani and this Saeed bullshit? Do you really think they're going to vote for Tallarico? I'm telling you, black people, they're moving towards conservatism because they know that this stuff is crazy. It's absolutely batshit.
Yes, it really is.
Here is the logic collapse debate. I think you found this one. Here it is.
You can actually see the logic collapse in real time.
No, I found this one.
Forming people like Kelly, which then encourages a blast of hateful comments. I think you have a social responsibility to do something about that. Because
so why did you agree to this debate? You knew that Kelly would be here, who you think should be in prison for her comments. And now you're putting the blame on me for a debate you're participating in.
In many ways, you're helping all of your audience listen to my terribly transphobic views. So by association,
I'm not
maybe
taking
you should
sides
go to
here.
prison.
This argument just makes no sense to me. You're criticizing criticizing me for platforming someone who you're platforming by agreeing to a debate with.
I don't understand what you want me to say.
I want you to explain why I'm irresponsible by hosting a debate that you want to be part of.
I'm here to make sure that views like this don't go unchallenged.
That's great. That's what I believe. Views should be challenged. Yeah.
I would like to see a position.
But you don't want views to be challenged. You want just have your view and have these people shut up. That's what you want.
Really would like these people to shut up, definitely, because they cause so much hate and hurt. Imagine if instead of this conversation, we were having a conversation with an expert in gender identity and a transgender person or persons or a family.
That's not ideas being challenged. That's one worldview being presented. So you don't want this to be debated. You just want your opinion to be communicated to the public.
Well, it depends what you're debating. If you're debating the existence...
Wait a second. You know who that sounds like, everybody?
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Doesn't want her views challenged. Anyone who does hates Charlie, is a Jew, is an Egyptian plane holder, is the U.S. government. Sounds familiar. God, it's almost like Candace is a lefty. I wonder, is it possible?
Sense of gender diversity, which is actually and what's going on here.
I think I've got your position.
Typical lefty. Typical frickin' liberal white woman.
They're going to be the death of everything.
They're going to breed themselves extinct.
Well, they're going to vote themselves extinct. Here's a good example. Tim Pool decided to go on. Have you seen these programs, the Surrounded and...
Yeah, where it's like two people sit debating and they're surrounded by people.
Okay, they're not debating.
Okay.
There's no debate taking place.
Head to head,
I said this before the show. There's no such thing as formal debate anymore. There's no such thing. Like even the stuff between Cenk Uyghur and Jordan Peterson and Benjamin, these aren't debates. What you see the president and the president do against the Democrat nominee or the Republican nominee and these aren't debates. Debates are an exchange of ideas that they present the nuance of a factoid of a greater whole. So let me give you an example. Liv, let's debate the most difficult thing to replace on a car. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, give it to me. What's the most difficult thing to replace on a car?
Maybe an engine.
Okay, and I'm going to say that it's going to be what's the most difficult thing to replace on a vehicle? You say the engine, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the tracking system for the tank's treads.
Okay.
I win.
What that is.
Yeah, the treads of a tank.
You said
I said a vehicle.
Oh.
The treads right here. These treads. This is the most difficult thing to I win. You lose. I win. So can we do something so broad? Can we really debate something so broad?
No.
But what if we said, what are the best performance tires for A to C class resi vehicles on the road today, which would also include SUVs, trucks, sedans? What are the best tires that you can get? Go.
Michelin. So that's really the only tire company I can think
Michelin
of.
all-weather, all-purpose tires.
Yeah.
50,000-mile warranty or 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am going to say that Bridgestone are the best. So now we can have a debate as to why. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. We've set the parameters. We've taken a very small portion of the conversation, and we both know what it is, and now we get to debate the finer points. Now, Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make your opening statement on why Michelin are the best. Just make it up. Make it up.
Because they've got the cute naked baby in their little tire commercials.
What else? Come on, more. You know the warranty, and come on, you bought them.
Because we've got Michelin tires, and it was a 6-year, like 60,000-mile warranty or something on the tires, and it's been 4 years, and tires are fantastic. I've had no issues with them whatsoever.
All right. Okay, get her down. Okay, so that's your argument, right?
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
You're a pedophile. You like little babies. You want to fuck babies. You're a Donald Trump pedophile. You're a pedophile. You love pedophiles. You're an orange man, maggot, piece of shit, Nazi, xenophobic, hedonistic, deplorable pedophile.
You are a...
You want to fuck kids. Nope. You want to fuck kids. Nanny, nanny, booba, stick your head. No, you're wrong. Nope, you're wrong. Nope. If you say anything else, 1,000 bounce off me and it's 6 to you. I'm rubber and you're glue. No. No. Can't say no, can't, no. This isn't debating. This is not debating. This is literally petulant retards and watching monkeys fuck a football. That's what this is. Hands down, twice on Sunday, this is who they are. That's what they do.
Yep.
So these aren't debates. But debates where you tell me the finer points of your tire, I'll tell you the finer points of my tire. You get to contradict that. Well, it depends. What type of car are we using? Are you in an all-purpose, all-weather? Or do you have all-wheel drive? Do you have four-wheel drive? Do you live in a place with a lot of snow? Do you traverse up mountains and passes at higher elevation? All sorts of questions.
Mm-hmm.
But you confine the conversation like one of the stupidest debates I've ever been a part of in debate team was when they made the topic, is capital punishment wrong? And I'm like, we can't debate this topic because, okay, go ahead. The opponent is going to say that capital punishment indeed is wrong. And I'm going to say, okay, great. Why is it wrong? Well, because God's law says thou shalt not kill. Well, right. But killing and murder are two different things. I just disproved your entire case. You just established that some killing is justified. Is that right? Okay,
yes.
You're done. I rest. It's over. Well, wait a second. You can't do that. What do you mean I can't do that? You brought God into it. God's not a part of the equation. Why not? Where do we find our morality from? I won that debate in 7 seconds because I literally had that person spinning their top. They were from Boyna High School. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to say. And I said, listen, it's not your fault. You can't defend this topic. This topic is way too ambiguous. Because are we talking about societal norms? Are we talking about tribal rituals? Are we talking about human sacrifice? Are we talking about self-defense? Are we talking about capital punishment? Are we talking about what? Are we talking, what morality code do you want to use? There's so many. Is it from an existentialist point of view? What if I'm a nihilist? What is it? So you can't do these broad, giant topics. What you can do is say the following question: Is cyanide or electric chair inhumane? Oh, well, now that we can have a conversation, because we can stick to medical, we can stick to science, we can talk about the brain receptors, we can talk about the pain receptors, and which ones are more violent. What happens? What's the body's reaction to these lethal injections or lethal amount of electricity or lethal amounts of cyanide that are coming in? You can say, is it humane? Which one's more humane? You can have that argument. That's a debate. This isn't. Watch this. Tim Pool, whoever Tim Pool's manager is, and I know you sometimes watch this show, you hate him. I would never allow anybody to walk in I would never put Leeroy or Olivia in this situation. Because you position Tim Pool as a moderate, first of all. Tim Pool is not a moderate. In any world, Tim Pool is not a moderate. And more importantly, the people who were at this little Jubilee debate were not leftists. They were socialists. And you labeled them as progressives. No, they're not progressives. These people are socialists, every single one of them. And their entire goal was to literally browbeat the shit out of Tim Pool and just verbally destroy him. Here's the video. Folks, we have got to get some donations coming in.
Facts don't care about your feelings. So we actually have to start getting off on time.
Yeah, we do. We can't stay too late, folks.
Because otherwise we will not see our children.
So if you want to get to overtime, now's the time to do it, folks. The only way to do that is to help us donate, please.
I'm a big fan
it's
of
already OT, so.
I like it. I use
no,
it.
I can't just walk out.
No, I know.
I got to make her. Debbie Boggs donated $10. Hope this helps. Thank you, Debbie.
That's where you come in.
So here's the video, the Tim Pool debate. Watch this. You can go.
No,
I'll
I'm not.
stay.
This is our moderate, by the way, everybody. This is our moderate. Do you know who Chris Ray is?
Explain to me.
Well, you have a show talking about politics every day. I would think that you know. But Chris Ray was the former.
Let's not do this. If
Well,
you have a
he
point
was-
to make, let's make a
Yes,
point.
sir.
Let's
Yes,
not
sir.
try and play
Yes,
these
sir.
games.
So Chris Ray was the former FBI director under Donald Trump's first term.
Yep.
He said that he even agreed with the findings from both the congressional research session that right-wing violence is way more proliferate in
But we're
this
not
country
talking
than
about
left-wing
that.
violence.
That's not
That
meaningful
is.
to a voter. Let me explain. The Republican Party rejects neo-Nazism, correct?
No, Donald Trump invited Nick Fuentes to have dinner with him, with Kanye West.
So tell me one politician who went out and campaigned for the neo-Nazi vote.
I'm blanking on his name, but Gozar in
Is that a
in
mainstream
Arizona.
view in this country?
Well, we could talk about Gozar. We could talk about Matt Gaetz. We could talk about.
Matt Gaetz is not endorsing neo-Nazism, and Donald Trump
Are
said
you kidding me?
Nazis should be condemned entirely.
No, he's literally partnering with the America First movement. He was a
America First
chosen
and neo-Nazism are totally different.
bro. So you don't think do you think Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi? I
wouldn't-
forgot
I
you've
wouldn't-
had him on your show.
I
Oh my
wouldn't-
god,
I
I
wouldn't-
literally forget.
I wouldn't describe Nick Fuentes as a neo-Nazi.
You don't think that Nick Fuentes celebrating Adolf Hitler is not neo-Nazi adjacent?
I think you have to be very specific.
Okay. I can't stand this neo-Nazi adjacent. Liv, called out.
Yes. Brenda Shepard just wanted to help. Thank you so much. Yes, it does.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
helping, Brenda. We appreciate you. $11.50. Neo-Nazi adjacent.
I don't even know what that means.
That they're cozying up to neo-Nazi. Folks, eradicating Jews from the planet and putting in a master race of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Germans. I'm sorry. There's nobody who's doing that. Unless you're radical Islam. Radical Islam has more to do with neo-Nazis than conservatives, because conservatives have nothing to do with neo-Nazis. Matt Gaetz is not a neo-Nazi. Matt Gaetz is a child-touching fucking retard. There's a difference. And if you want to say that about him, I'm fine with that. Nick Fuentes, if people would just figure out who Nick Fuentes is not a Nazi. Nick Fuentes doesn't hate black people. Nick Fuentes doesn't hate Jews. Nick Fuentes is an opportunist who literally is a farking comedian. He is a shock jock, just like Howard Stern, and he says crazy shit that can never be taken seriously, because if you listen to Nick Fuentes long enough, he contradicts himself on everything. Do you know he's against Candace and he's defending the Jews? He's defending Israel and saying they didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Are you guys aware of this? That he is going after Candace? That he's attacking Tucker? Do you understand that he has black friends, gay friends, transgender friends? Have you guys even understand his movement with the incels that reject women and repudiate women? He is literally a closeted Mexican midget. He's a comedian. He's just saying shit to rile people up, and he's so good at it. He's fantastic at it. He's not a neo-Nazi. He's just a pretentious douchebag. That's all he is. Here's the rest of this.
On what your terms are. And so when you go to an American voter and say something like...
This is our moderate, by the way, everybody. This is our moderate.
Indeed.
Keep going.
So when you go to a regular American and ask them what is meaningful to them in terms of an election, you don't have Democrats or Republicans endorsing violence. But you also don't have... Charlie Kirk's a good example. He threw out Nick Fuentes. He threw out white identitarians, white nationalists from his events. They were not welcome. That's mainstream. You don't have riots coming from the Republican Party and the right, although you do have January 6th and things like that. When you take a look at the shootings of the Tesla facilities, the execution of Aaron Danielson, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and one of the attempted assassinations on Donald Trump, not the Pennsylvania one, you can see the underlying ideologies overlap with the Democratic Party. When you take a look at like Nick Fuentes, he's opposed to the Republican Party. He's been actively endorsing Democrats right now.
He's been saying that the Republican Party is too left for him. It's not that he's opposed
That's
to the
my
Republican
point.
Party.
Right.
This is literally my point.
No,
Nick Fuentes comes out and says, do not vote for Trump. The mainstream Republican Party is at odds with these people.
No, again, if you're looking at all of the empirical data, the violence is way more on the right.
But
so
that's not
you
the
can say
claim.
what your feelings are.
That's
You
not,
can
not
say
my
that.
feeling nor the claim.
No,
it is
that-
not meaningful to a voter to say we don't like neo-Nazis and white supremacists because the
It's
Republican
meaningful
Party
to say.
is not saying
It's
they want a
meaningful to
white
say.
America.
Let's be objective of where the violence is coming from. This is
Okay.
a moderate, by the way.
So this douche plow,
Yeah.
and he is, and I see him on X, and I'm really thinking of inviting him on this show because I would love to systematically tear him apart. He's disrespectful. He's petulant. He's like all these people. They're not there to have a conversation. They're there to try to destroy Tim Pool. And I will tell you is that I like Tim, but Tim is not capable of doing this type of environment. He's not. Tim is used to controlling the room. And you can't control a room where there's 20 people who are already stealing the air out of it. It takes a certain type of figure to ask these people questions, and he's not that person. And there's a way to shut him down. Ask him the following question. Are you ready? Here,
yes.
This is how you shut this guy down. Real simple. Put that in real quick.
Very ready.
This is how you shut this guy down in 1 second.
You can start it because it's going to take me a minute.
It's okay. I'll wait. It's important to get the donations in. We gotta hit it. Like I said, we can't be on until 10 o'clock every night trying to hit these things. Patricia Luza, thank you so much. $10. That gets us a little bit closer, halfway there. Living on a prayer.
Oh, halfway there.
You ask the following questions. Define a Nazi. How would you define a Nazi, Liv?
I would define a Nazi as somebody from 1940s Germany that hated Jews.
Did they hate Jews?
Considering they put millions of them into concentration camps, yes.
But was it done by hate?
I don't know because I wasn't there personally, but I would assume.
Show me in the Nazi doctrine where it says to eradicate Jews.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't. So what is a Nazi? Well, a Nazi is a member of the National Socialist Party. And what were the views of Nazis? Medicare, assistance for elderly, extended pay and leave, vacations, universal health care, confiscation of guns, isolationism, removing religion, bereavement pay. In fact, they were a giant nanny state. And ultimately, you would probably call them socialists if it wasn't for the fact that they were fascists, which there are very minimal differences between the two. They were pro-union. For the love of God, they had Mussolini on their side. But as we've said, there's very little difference between fascism and socialism because those are closer intertwined than conservatives and Democrats and liberals and Republicans. But please tell me which policies of President Trump are akin to the Nazis. Now, this is when they will try to do the following.
And there's a flag on the plane.
And this person's going to say, well, wait a second. And they'll try to change it, and you got to nail them down. And you say the following. Name the policies. Is President Trump for universal health care? No. His daughter tried to go into maternal and paternal leave act. Did they put that for? No. Did he raise the minimum wage? No. Is he trying to expand Medicare and Medicaid? No. Is he trying to confiscate guns? No. Is he trying to make a national religion? No. Is he trying to take any rights away or put people in cattle cars? Is he trying to establish a national socialist identity? Is he killing his political opponents and jailing his political opponents? No. Okay, now, who is doing that? Oh, wait a second, there's ICE, the Gestapo. No, are we a nation of laws or not? Yes, we're a nation of laws. Should those laws be enforced? Yes, okay. So you agree that ICE is a necessity because it's an extension of law enforcement. Is that right? Yes, but how they conduct business, that's fine. That's what oversight's for. But is anything in ICE's policy related to the Nazis and fascists?
Name it. Because all of those laws were written by Congress, and the power extended to ICE is a congressional power. So explain to me which portions of Congress and the mass majority were Nazis. I'll wait for you to answer. He can't answer. Because he's using it in a colloquial fashion. There is no fact to it. It's a moniker. He's attaching it. And instead of Tim attacking his point of view, he's trying to defend his position. And Tim shouldn't defend his position. He should stop the entire conversation and focus on the definition of Nazi, because this fucking douchebag doesn't know what it is. The debate starts the moment he opens his mouth, and there is a period. And that is the only thing you focus on until you've solved that point. I just told you, do not expand debates into these giant cacophonies of multifaceted topics that branch off into a million different areas so these guys can move the goalposts. Nope. Your first statement was, they're Nazis. Let's establish what a Nazi is. And don't move and don't even flinch until they establish that point and they can clearly define it. And until they can, you don't move an inch. Until they concede the point and say, I was saying Nazis as a tongue-in-cheek statement. Until they say that, until they bequeath the point to you, you don't move. That is how you beat people like this. And I would sit in that room and I would fuck up, I would destroy all of them. Because I would not move from the one topic that they say. Let them have the first sentence and then ask them questions. And they will spin their wheels because they don't even know what Nazis are. They have no idea because they've never studied it. I would love for this guy to come on the show. Love for him. I'll love for any of these people to come onto a show. Here's what really happened, though. They're taking one clip. It's just like Candace. Candace lost that entire debate until the last 3 or 4 minutes when Andrew Wilson couldn't simply say, you know what? I don't know the 7 charges. I'm not the one that's saying Tyler's innocent. You are. I don't give a shit. What I do know is that the evidence that we have seen that he murdered Charlie Kirk has been overwhelming. But as far as if it's aggravated murder or it's manslaughter or it's first or second degree, I don't know. But that doesn't change the fact that you have zero evidence that Tyler Robinson is innocent. And for you to be at 0% saying that you have to not only disprove all the doubt that you have that are leading you to believe he's innocent, but all the evidence that shows he's guilty, and you're at 0 is a far cry from me at my 75 to 85% sure that he's there. I'm the one coming from a logical, deductive place. You're stamping your feet and saying, nana, nana, boo, boo, stick your head in doo-doo. I refuse to admit that he's guilty. There's 2 very distinct differences. He had that one. But what he did is he allowed to have her change his position. His position is that right now the evidence is overwhelming that Tyler Robinson is guilty. That's why the defense is going to probably come back with a plea deal. This is what happened. They took this one little soundbite of Tim Pool getting up and leaving. I watched the whole debate. Most of it, yes, they were coming at him, but he handled his own. But this is where he failed. He made a very, very clever move by getting up and leaving. He's like, do you even want me here? I'll just get up and leave. You want me to leave? You can have this conversation by yourself, because the guy wouldn't stop interrupting. But in context, that was a great thing. But when they went ahead and clipped it, it looked like Tim Pool quit and it gave them what they wanted. This is why it isn't debate. It's frickin' theater.
It's gotcha theater.
Yes, it is. Here it is.
My next surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
There's 42 of your titles that have the word civil war in it.
Correct.
With big fonts on the front.
They sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not necessarily. But we have 1,600 episodes of just IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your predictions seriously.
Are you going to make an argument, or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, then let's make an argument about whether or not we are tracking. No. If you're making an argument, you don't like my thumbnails, or you try to say my name over and over again.
I'm saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what I really think is
let me ask you a
the
question.
predictions.
Let me ask you a question you can't answer.
I will agree with you that there's increased polarization. I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's a lot less interaction with people that are in different camps.
You defer.
You can say that
let me
there's
ask
a
you a
civil war every year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're
never
say,
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
question.
question.
Or if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let
along.
me ask you a question.
You're the same thing as like the
Let me
Christian rapture
ask you
people
a
who say
question.
that the rapture's coming every fucking year,
Are
and
you-
when it doesn't happen,
do
it's
you want a
like, oh, it's not
soapbox?
happening.
Do you want me to get you a
I'm just saying,
soapbox?
it's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to
You want me to
do
leave?
what you do.
You want me to
It's
leave?
really easy to do what you do. Like you literally just say, Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to Timcast. Continue to watch my videos, please. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you.
The walking out thing was great if you watch the whole thing, but they didn't. They just clipped it where he walked out. And now they have the 1 minute splice that they want in order to make Tim look stupid.
I would present that dude with a golden hand and nickname him Kingslayer.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though, right? Yeah. It's like they're children.
They
Why
both
do you
sounded stupid.
Why do you treat them as equals? You know, I've said this a million times. You could not change somebody's mind who does not like you. And the reverse is true. And until you establish a rapport with people, you cannot have a debate. Do you know the Greeks would break bread together? Do you know the Greeks would take saunas together? And not in a gay bathhouse kind of way, but before intellects debated and got into intellectual combat, so to speak, they would get to know each other. And this was common practice in Greece. And the reason why they did this was ultimately to understand the other person before they got into things that they were trying to learn about each other in heated exchange. I'm not going to talk to any of those people. What's your name? He tried to shake people's hands. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Tim. And they wouldn't shake his hand. You know what I'd say? I'm good. There's no reason for me to talk to this person. Nothing is going to happen in this conversation that's going to change anyone's mind, including mine or his or hers. So this is the problem. These aren't debates. This is just tomfoolery and just complete kabuki theater.
It's clickbait. That's all it is.
That's all it is. Nazi guy on a cruise. Folks, we are sitting at 153.49. Need your help.
I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
Love that movie.
That is that's a really cool clip. Here is the Nazi guy on a cruise.
This guy's mad because this guy has Hitler tattoos. And this guy's a Jew, it looks like, and he's really angry.
I'm a Jew. That is so offensive. Put a goddamn shirt on before I get security up here. Do something. Please call. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to come down. I want him out of my sight. That guy is not welcome on this.
You're not welcome. Get the fuck off. You're the one attacking people.
You okay? Look at these guys smiling. You think it's fucking
I think it's funny. You fucking
You think it's fucking
I think it's very funny.
Huh?
I do. I do.
What up?
What are you gonna do?
I'm in jail for yelling.
Okay, what do you think? Freedom of speech?
Technically, yes. And if we have to say that, I mean, let's go back to the WNBA game. the stupid trans rights matters chick got told that they had to put a jacket over their shirt, so she got pissed and tattled on them. I hate to say it. If he's out there yelling Nazi slurs and death to Jews and being a complete ass, yes, get offended. He's sitting there on a chair, and I understand those tattoos are offensive, but guess what? You can get up and frickin' leave.
Tremont says, anyone know where that symbol came from originally? Yeah, it's like 26 different various writings and religious symbols. That one particularly is most recognized as a backwards Hindu or Buddhist symbol. Yeah. And Hitler was renowned for taking religious artifacts, religious scriptures, and taking them out of context and using them in his overall ideology. It doesn't matter.
We are constantly telling people on the left that they get offended way too easily. Oh, this person's hair color offends me. This person's shirt offends me. This person not calling me by my pronouns offends me. Just stop living in a bubble. And I understand it's a Nazi tattoo, but it's a cruise ship, which means there's like freaking 350 decks. And I guarantee there's more than one pool on that cruise ship. Go to another deck. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I
mean, he shouldn't be wearing it or shouldn't have it on the first place. He should have at least a tank top on to cover part of it. But he shouldn't have touched him.
It's not like I'm not going to walk by that guy and say you're a and fight me.
Yeah,
I'm going to do whatever I can to get that guy to swing on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to call his girlfriend a whore or something for sure. When I walk by under my breath, she's a whore. So are you. I'm going to do whatever I can. Your motherfuckers. I'll do whatever I can to get that guy to fight me and say something under my breath. All he's got to do is swing once. But I'm not going to touch him. But I will antagonize him. I'll do whatever I can to piss that person off to try to hit me. And I don't care what I say. Because that guy and those tattoos stand for one thing. And I'm not okay with it. I wouldn't be okay if somebody was wearing Black Panther paraphernalia. I wouldn't be okay if someone was wearing ISIS or Hamas paraphernalia. No. But they have a right to say it. But I also have a right to get him to try to take a swing at me too. And when he does, I'm going to put him through a freaking glass wall. But he has every right to wear it, but he also has every right to the consequence of wearing what he's wearing. And somebody's just going to fucking shoot him. You walk around, you go walk around with that shirt off and go to Chicago. You're dead in 20 minutes. They're going to kill you. I don't know. I just repudiate evil.
I do too.
And it's like, oh, Matt, that's not right. You shouldn't talk. I don't care. I don't care. Because no matter what I say, there is nothing more offensive than that fucking symbol. That symbol is responsible for killing 11 million people. And if you wanted to show me the hammer and sickle, you wanted to show me the CCP, you wanted to show me their validation of killing Uyghurs, or the South African gangs, or Uganda, or Hamas, or ISIS, or the Islamic Brotherhood, or whatever. I don't like any of these groups. But I hold a particular distaste for people who have the Nazi symbol. I just do. Not a big fan.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, but he has every right to do it.
But the dude shouldn't have touched him.
Speaking of debates, safe space, I need to leave. Folks, you got to go. You jump off. I got to stay. I can't leave in the middle of this. Shitty night. I can't. So I got to keep going. Safe space, I need to leave. We're going to watch this video, folks. We're $153. We're short $150. We're trying to get there. See if we can get there in the next 30 minutes or so, because I got to stay. Here it is.
Because for me and my community, Trans women are women. They have always existed. They will always continue to exist.
What does that mean, they've existed?
Well,
no one's saying they're figments of imagination.
Yeah, but we are saying that they're women.
No, saying they exist is not the same as saying they're women.
Well, I'm saying that they're women.
We have words, and words are only useful as an ability to communicate between human beings because we all agree what those words mean. So if I hold up this navy blue mug and say that...
Do you see what she's doing? She's establishing the rules of the conversation. She is simply having her defend her viewpoint. She's not saying that trans people are this or trans people are that. She's simply saying, let's define what you mean by trans rights or human rights. Of course they are. Who's saying they're not? Please explain to me what you mean by that, because I don't understand your comment. This is just liberal jargon. And when she has to defend it, watch how quickly she recoils.
Orange, it's navy blue. So when I say it's navy blue, then you have to understand that as the same thing as I understand that. Otherwise, it's a meaningless conversation. So when we have a conversation about what is a woman, we need to all know what we mean by that. Now, it's your view and the view of many activists that women has a number of different categories. People who were born women and are women, and men who believe that they are women or have a piece of paper saying they are women. The Supreme Court was very, very clear.
Yeah.
They're saying not only is the law now, they're saying it has always been the case that because you have a piece of paper saying that you are legally a woman if you're born a man, you are not in fact a woman.
I am now feeling in a position where I'm in a room with you and I feel unsafe. Yeah.
You feel unsafe?
I feel unsafe. I feel my heart racing, my hands are starting to sweat, and I actually think I'm about to have a panic attack from sitting in a room with you, so I'd like to do that. Yeah.
So you're feeling... Yeah, you were asked to come on the show to have a conversation.
You got to say what you thought about it. I've said my piece, and now I'd really like to go.
I thought you were actually plugged into a mic there. I thought we were going to have a conversation.
Wow.
That's how you do it, right there.
Holy cow.
Make them defend their points. And then here's the thing. Give me ask me my view on transgender people.
What is your view on transgender people?
What does it matter? What does it matter what my view is? You want to talk to me about why you believe that trans rights are human rights. Can you please dictate to me what position I've ever taken that says anything to the contrary? No. So what does it matter what I think? Am I somehow writing the policy? Am I proposing the legislation? Am I somehow codifying the amendment by myself to go ahead and take away human rights from trans people? No. Then what does it matter what I think? Well, because we're having a debate. No. No, we're not. Because you have not went ahead and clearly articulated my position to me. So how can we debate on something that you don't even know? So why don't you do me a favor and tell me what my position is on trans people? You can't argue with someone if they refuse to argue. Questions. That's all it takes. Now, if someone comes to me and goes, well, I think you have no problem with trans people living their lives and doing their thing. You take issue with trans people pushing their ideology on children and forcing you to accept it. Is that right? I say, that sums it up. Okay, I explained your position to you fair. Yes, you have. Now explain to me how that's me removing trans or human rights from trans people. Just another question. If you can take away the power of them reframing the conversation into some sort of hierarchical debate of truth and lies, and just simply have a conversation with people, there is no argument. They're just going to argue with themselves like she did. She couldn't answer the question. She couldn't simply describe what trans rights or human rights means. And the reason why my palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti.
I'm going to have an anxiety
I'm going to have an anxiety attack. You know what that's called? It's called being wrong and you don't know how to cope with it. It's called being embarrassed and feeling stupid. And I'm making you, that's not anxiety. That's you literally feeling dumb because nobody has ever told you that you're just full of shit. And that whatever you're believing and all these made up words aren't reality. Nobody's ever, your parents, your teachers, your friends, nobody has ever told you the truth. And I'm just going to tell you the truth, and it's going to make you feel this way for a while, but we can get past this. If you stop seeing me as a threat to your very existence and as a person who might know more about this than you do. Are you acquiesced to that conversation? No. Oh, okay, then we're done. I'll take the W. You take the L. Let's move on. Or, yes, I am. Okay, then let's get to it. But see, this is the problem. That's a debate. It's not a debate. It's not a debate. It's a conversation. And people don't want to have conversations. That's the problem. Who's Madburger?
I don't know.
Well, go see what Madburger's saying over on Rumble. Here is a boy that President Trump recognized, a lifeguard who saved a kid in the water, and I thought it was a really cool thing. Here it is.
Look, they're going to look up to Ryder. They're going to look up to Nathaniel, the way Nathaniel handled it. He was cool considering the problems I was watching. You were very cool, and they're going to gain respect. I think, very importantly, they're going to gain respect for what these people do, having to do with lifeguards and having to do with safety. This was an unbelievable experience. Anybody watching, it's not my world, but I respect that world. I always had, but never maybe so much as I do now. So I thought you bring, to your profession, to what you do and what you do so well. You
strong tide going in and out on them.
And experience, really.
But look at the swirls.
Tremendous grace.
Good for the other guy coming in.
A feeling that it's so amazing to see this happen, to see it before your eyes. And I don't think any other, I've seen surfs, I've seen rescues before. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's been a great thing for your profession, and people are going to respect it even more, respect you even more.
Those waves are just coming 360. Really, he got caught in a tide pool probably or something.
At the Oval Office, so.
Oh yeah, you're having a hard time even dragging him in.
Yeah, he's just getting sucked in. I mean, it's probably just from the force of the waves, and the sand is just literally, it's just sucking him in. That's amazing. Like, as someone who grew up in the surf, there is nothing like feeling. I've been rescued by a lifeguard one time, and that was at Dog Beach in San Diego, and I went up against the rock jetty, and I got caught in a tide pool, and there's nothing I could do. I didn't have flippers, and I was on a boogie board. If I had a surfboard, I could have gotten right out of it. Just lifted up my legs and paddled out with my hands, and I would have been fine. But on a boogie board, you can't get enough buoyancy. And without flippers, you're not getting out of that. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good of a swimmer you are. You're in a tide pool, and you're getting pushed up against those rocks. You're going to go into them. And I could have got it out. No, you couldn't have.
Oh, we watched a lifeguard rescue at VB last year.
Did you tell him what happened though? That I saw the guy going in about 5 minutes before he did.
Yeah, here you were like, he's gonna get stuck on those rocks, and he sure did. He got stuck.
Well, what I said that guy's caught in a rip, and he's in a rip current. He's going to the rocks. This was 5 minutes, and I started shouting for the lifeguard down there, and I said, "Someone find a lifeguard. He's going into the rocks." And I recognized it because I grew up on the West Coast and been in the water. And I could see what was happening, and he got smashed. He cut his wrist, cut his head.
His legs.
They had to go in there and save him and throw him a rope line. But, like these lifeguards didn't see it. I'm like, how can you not see it? But that's where I was, opposite coast, 3,200 miles away in Dog Beach in San Diego, and I got caught in a rip. And what happened was I came out from Virginia. I was in the military. I've been doing some great swimming, and I was in perfect shape. I was probably 6% body fat. I was ripped, was swimming every day in the beach, was running 7-8 miles a day, and was just training with some really hard-ass badasses. I couldn't get out of it. So lifeguard came out, brought a buoy, put flippers on. Lifeguard had flippers on. Came out on a like a board. And different 2 handles right here, just like a kickboard, and came out and had a red buoy on, and he's like, latch on, hold on to it, I'll pull you in. And when he got me to the shore, he said, bro, I saw you. He's like, there's several times you almost got out. He's like, but the rip's way too strong. You shouldn't, you got to be 50, 60, 75 feet away from these rocks. Don't even go in there again. And I'm like, yeah, bro.
How'd you get in there?
just took a wave, took a roll, was in a smaller wave that came in, and it was more of a diagonal because the rip was pushing them to the side, and got misplaced. Just got washed and probably got sand in my eyes and probably rolled underneath a wave, but just caught a wave and just was ducking through it.
What exactly is a riptide?
Just circular amount of water that pulls, so you have a flow of an undercurrent and you have spinning of the top current, and it's not a whirlpool, but it's a riptide is literally just unbalanced water. So anytime you start trying to move force, it kills your forward momentum by pushing you back, and you just can't get out of it. It just keeps sucking you back. You can't move through it. And so I think what I was doing is I was just rolling out of a wave, and I just got too close. So when you're ditching out of a wave, you just basically turn your boogie board and you go and dive and cut into the wave and then push out the other side. It's not a duck dive, but it's like a sideways duck dive. And when I popped back up, I got a lot of inertia and I was towards the rip. So tried to turn around and stayed at a second set, waiting for another wave to come in. But I drifted and I didn't know. So I was literally just sitting up on top, boogie board shoved under my ass and sitting on the board. And by doing that, I just literally drift. And then I got caught in the rip. And it wasn't fast. It wasn't violent. But when I turned and tried to go for a wave and started kicking out of it, I was full arms. I was full legs. I must have done that for 2 or 3 minutes and I was burnt. I was totally cooked. And lifeguard came out, got me, zipped me out. When he got me on the beach, he's like, bro, you weren't getting out of that. He's like, you got to have flips on when you're on a boogie board. He's like, surfboard, no problem. Because the surfboard, all you do is just remove the surface tension, sit up on the board, kick your legs back up like that, and then one swoop of your hands, and then pick up your hands out of the water, and that thing just glides over the surface. Boogie board, you can't do that. Yeah, rips suck. But all of that, I mean, the ocean can kill you faster than people don't understand how powerful it is. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's keep going. Adam Carolla on Cuomo. Liv, I'm going to let you fly off here. Get off. Go take care of the kids. Make sure everything's good at the house. I love you. Say goodnight to everybody.
Night, y'all. I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Watch donations. I'm going to stick around for 19 more minutes. All right. Love you. She works long. She doesn't need to be staying on with me. Let's see. Adam Carolla on Cuomo. This is really interesting. So Adam, definitely most would have been looking for a life-saving device, not like that Hawaiian man. Yeah. Well, thank God for lifeguards. I mean, every surfer, thanks, babe. Every surfer well, that's the thing, Paul. But up against the rocks, it's a rip, but it's also like a whirlpool at the same time. And it just keeps sucking you into the rocks. And it's just a pocket of water you cannot get out of. So maybe I'm describing it, but it absolutely tried parallel swimming. That's all I was doing was parallel swimming. I wasn't trying to hit it from the front. I was tried sideways swimming, couldn't do it. Even the lifeguard, the one that we saw in V Beach, lifeguards were swimming sideways and they had to rope out. Even the lifeguards that went in to save this guy had to rope out. Parallel does not always work. Especially when it's vortexing, it's coming from multiple directions. It's just, they're nasty sometimes. Sometimes they're so nasty they shut down the beach. Anyway, Adam Carolla on Cuomo, he made a post, and this is Adam Carolla talking about it. Then I'm going to show you the post.
I got a text from Chris Cuomo the other day because I retweeted one of his bad looks.
This is great.
And he's like, "What's up, bro? Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm just retweeting what you said. Like, listen, everybody. You said a lot of stupid shit during COVID. And I got a lot of shit foisted on me thanks to people like you saying a lot of stupid shit. And so did Aaron Rodgers. So now it's 5 years later. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that it's being relitigated. Perhaps you should have shut the fuck up back then. You can give your opinion. Stop attacking people. You attacked people, and now people are rubbing it back in your face. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's how the world works.
There's a Hawaiian man. Everyone says he will go as is. He would swim in anything. A little bit different. A little bit different. I'm not saying that Hawaiian waves are different, but a lot of the Hawaiian
surfing spots don't have fake jetties. And a lot of the California surf spots and East Coast, they have to generate with jetties that give them their wave breaks. You just, Hawaii doesn't need that. The coral reefs underneath and the bottom of the ocean does all that for them. It's just a different type of situation. And I'm not saying that Hawaiian surfing is not dangerous. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a different type of wave. I've had a chance to surf in Fiji and Australia and Hawaii, California, East Coast, New Zealand, Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, Cancun. And that's about it. I've done no South America surfing in any way, shape, or form. But I'll tell you, waves are different everywhere. But Pacific Ocean is and Eastern Seaboard surfing is shitty. Matt, that was a beach in SoCal that you could catch a wave going back out. The Wedge, yeah, I think so. There was South Jetty, there's Rincon, there's Silver Strand, there's Dog, there's OP, South Jetty. Did I say? Yep. There's Venice, there's Newport, there's Huntington, there's the Wedge. I'm trying to think the other one. There's so many other beaches. Well, then you've got northern beaches too, and I didn't do any Northern California surfing. No, fuck that. I have no desire to get eaten by a great white. No major cold water. It doesn't mean I didn't surf in the winter. Most of my surfing was Southern California, bodyboarding, boogie boarding. Yeah. Oh yeah, East Coast surfing. It's just a different type of water. Like coral's no fucking joke, and the big waves are insane. I mean, whether it's Backdoor or Waimea or Oahu, all of it's crazy. All Hawaiian surfing is nuts. It's just a different world. It's just a different type of surfing. The size of the waves and the coral, those are your biggest concerns. That's it. That's Hawaii. But East Coast and Pacific, those jetties, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. And I know people who shoot the pier. You know, I knew people who would shoot Huntington. I'm like, that's stupid. That's in Newport Beach, the Wedge. Yeah, Newport. Newport's crazy. Yeah, no, man. I've seen shit. I've seen South Jetty have 20-foot faces. I've seen big ass waves in South Jetty and Pierpont and Silver Strand. Those winter waves, they get massive, man. Those things are no joke. 12, 15 foot, fuck that. And it's violent. They're violent waves. And when they crash, they crash. I mean, they're not glass waves, dude. These are angry winter waves. Full wetsuit. Your board is, you lose your board, you're in some shit. Anyway, enough talking about surf. So here's Cuomo. And folks, we really got to hit goal. We're 153. I'm doing the best I can. I can't stay on later than 10. We did 3 3-hour shows last week. I can't keep doing it. So we gotta hit goal. Let's go. Here is Cuomo and going off on CNN, and then Dave Smith pulls up. And I'm not a big fan of Dave Smith, but I do like this. Watch this.
Dr. Atlas. Okay, a guy with no pandemic experience. He literally would know more if he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. He's saying, hey, you in Michigan, these measures to help try to control the spread.
Corona Del Mar. Yeah, so I was Huntington, Newport. So it sounds like that's as far south as you went. Yeah, I was San Diego, Santa Barbara, Carpinteria, Ventura, Oxnard, Port Hueneme, surfer, essentially. Venice, Huntington. Yeah.
Back. Are you kidding me? Shame on you. What kind of doctor would tell people to rise up and resist the only kind of prophylaxis that can help them? What the hell is the matter with this person? Rise up. You rise up and do your job or get the hell out. How could you give this kind of advice?
All right, so there's Cuomo. This is what Carolla reposted. And then here is Dave Smith and Cuomo, and Dave Smith just crushes them. Watch this.
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like it.
You did it.
No. Okay,
yes, you did.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find the
you
clips.
said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No.
I'll go find
First
the
of all,
clip.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don.
He gets cooked.
But
No. The
here's
clip
point.
I'm talking about wasn't on there, and
Here-
it's absolutely
look, we
there.
were
Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip.
Whoops.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer. Really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
Shame them. They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now,
This
Chris.
is
Chris,
a
you can't
dewormer.
apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was
All
this,
right.
and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not
You
being
were talking
dishonest.
about ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about this version of ivermectin. Come on, man.
Listen, even if the probability is 10% that somebody is saying that you said something and they're almost certain, you should probably take the chance of the probability that you did say it. I have had, almost 1,600 hours of lives, more than that. Thousands of hours of interactions, phone calls, conversations, public speaking events, manager meetings, vice president meetings, board meetings, TED Talk conversations, speaking with Apple, speaking at Comcast, military conversations, briefings, debriefings, public speaking events since then as a contractor. Over my lifetime, I have probably said everything. And honestly, if someone said, "Oh man, do you remember that one time you said the N-word?" I'm like, I don't remember, but I'm sure I did. If you say I did, I'm sure I did. But what does that have anything to do with the conversation we're having? You know what I mean? So, of course, I've said things that I would look out of context. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's embarrassing. But in context, I'll stand by it. I'll tell you this. There's nothing I have ever said that I'll ever apologize for. No. I'll never apologize that you got offended for something that wasn't directed at you. Nope. I won't do it. I refuse. I don't care. And you can cancel me. You can sue me. You can do it. I will never apologize. I will never go the way and play the cuck. I just won't do it. Because it's called free speech. And I'm not slandering. I'm not libeling you. And this is why they get so pissed. That's why liberals, it's like Dusty Dinkelman gets pissed, or Balls, is I won't mention their real names and attach it to them. I won't dox them. I won't do anything that'll give them a chance to do anything to me. Because they're not worth it. I'd much rather have them as trolls. That's what's hilarious about them. Hayden Panettiere. This is Panettiere. This is sad. Folks, I got to play the commercial. Got to do it. Sorry that I got to do it. I don't want to do it, but I still have to do it. Here it is.
What the hell is that? It's a boy on a broom? Well, don't open the window. Bloody hell!
Muggles, I'm sorry for using magic outside of Hogwarts, but I'm in dire need. Have any of you Muggles seen my golden ball?
Did you just say he's looking for his gold balls? I think he said golden ball.
Right you are. You two are very bright witches.
You really are the brightest witch of your age.
Did he just call us bitch? It's a Harry Potter movie. You have to keep it PG-13.
You know my name? I am Harry Potter. That means you know where it is.
No, we haven't seen it.
Well, you can buy a new one at the Dumb Show. You get 10% off for using code DUMB10.
Bloody brilliant! 10 points to Gryffindor.
Did he just call us Griffin whores?
If you want to take part in more adventures, you too can donate to The Dumb Show. You can go to thedumbshow.com/donate. We take PayPal, Venmo, credit card, and you can even send us an owl at P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142. Please make sure to leave your name and a message, and we will share it on the next show. Live weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, how them Dumbledore sent you too.
Okay, seriously? What's a fumble sore?
All right, folks. Let's see if we can get back here. There we go. Thank you for letting me do that. Somebody's asked me a question. And I made this post today, and I've had to defend it quite a bit. It says, USS Lincoln crew, suck it up. This is what you get when boot camp introduces chaplain requests and anonymous RDC reporting outside the chain of command. This ain't a Disney cruise. You're in the United States Navy. Act accordingly. All of the ex-USN. And a lot of people are upset. And one lady says, how long did you go between unreps? So reps are essentially days at sea or doing mission objective without any type of reprieve, which would be going to your duty station or going in the dock or going into a port or essentially coming home and deboarding. So longest I ever did was 107 days. And that's shared on LCC 19 and also a TDY stint, which I'm not going to go into, but was still at sea. So 107 days is the longest. And people are like, oh, well, 107 days is nothing. It's like 3 months and a week. It's 3 months and 2 weeks. Who cares? It's no big deal. Right. I never said it wasn't. The real question is did I complain and bitch, or did I do my reps as ordered? That's the point. The point isn't that I'm saying that I'm some amazing human being who believes that 200 days at sea is not a lot and extremely difficult. But that's how long it's been. It's been 200 days since they made port. A lot of people say, well, it's been 11 months. That's not true. That's a fucking lie. It's 200 days. It's still a long time. Any way you cut it, 30, 30, and 30 is 90. That's 180 plus 20. So they're at 7 months at sea. That's a long time. That's a long time. And that sucks, but it's still your job. And there's people in Vietnam who did 323 tours, 323 reps. I'm not saying that it's not hard. I'm not saying it's not difficult. What I'm saying is act accordingly. Shut your mouth and do your job. Just do your job. So don't know what to tell you. There's subs and there's boomers that go under for 120 days. There's subs and boomers that have gone under for 6 months. And yes, they come up for air and then they get resupplied. Yes. But they're not making port in Havana, folks. This is the Navy, and it's tough. There's guys that are in the shit and they're in the suck for 18 months as stints, and they don't see hot food. I know people that were cooking MREs off of freaking tanks engines. I know people who got 1 MRE a day and 8 bottles of water. I know people that would go out in the shit and not eat for 3 or 4 days. I know sniper teams that would go out and not be able to eat. Didn't have a hot meal, didn't have a fire. Give me a break. Yes, it's tough. Yes, it sucks, but those are the conditions. And your job, whether it's hard or soft, it doesn't matter. You're not dying. It's the military is not for the faint-hearted. It's not easy. And a lot of people think the Navy's for pussies. Well, you tell me, would you like to be at sea for 11 months? Probably not. But I also know guys don't want to be pounding and knocking doors for 11 months either, and they're doing it. So suck it up, Navy. That's it. You don't like it? I don't give a shit. So my answer to this lady was, more important question is, did I complain or did I do my reps as ordered? Longest was 106 days. Maybe it was 106. I don't remember. I think it was 107. That's it. See, someone has always done more. Someone's always done more in the military. Thank you, Paul. All I can manage right now, that new vehicle hurt a little. Hi, babe.
Hi.
Love you. That was an air kiss. I couldn't reach you. 565. All I can manage right now, the new vehicle hurt a little. It's better than nothing. My son was out for 6 months. Nuclear sub. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether I did 100 days or whether I did 200 days or whether I did 300 days. The point is, did I do my reps and do my job without complaining? Yes. That's all that I'm saying. Shut up.
Shut up and do your job. That's it. Hayden Panettiere.
I was 18, even though I'd lived so.
This is one of her last interviews before she died. Now, Hayden Panettiere is really important to me because that young lady you saw walk in right there is named after her. And honestly, they look a lot alike. They've got very similar build, same height, their hair. And when I saw the movie Remember the Titans, I said, I want a daughter just like that. Guess what? I got it. God gave me that gift. And my daughter Hayden is named after this young lady. And we loved her name, but she looks a lot like my daughter, acts like my daughter, talks like my daughter. It's crazy. But if you saw a picture of my daughter, Hayden, when she was younger, and go look at Hayden Panettiere in Remember the Titans, it's insanity. See if I can find a picture here. But that's what I asked for. I asked for a girl that was just like Hayden in Remember the Titans, or the young girl in Remember the Titans. That's what I asked for. And that is what I got. You tell me. That is what I got. And I wouldn't change my daughter for the world. I think she is the coolest little shit in the world. Love her to death. And she's got the same damn look as her. There it is. Same curly ass hair. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. It's just one of those nights, folks. And this hit hard because, to be honest with you, that's what I remember. I mean, you tell me I'm crazy. Look at that. Loretta Lewis, $15. Thank you, Loretta. Love the show. Thank you. You tell me that's not what I got. You tell me that I didn't get what I asked for. I asked for a fireball just like this girl from Remember the Titans. Tell me I didn't get that. Look at that. Look at that. That's insanity. Their hair, the curliness, exactly the same type of voice, same type of everything. So it's a trip for me. So when I saw she was dead, that kind of kicked me in the guts. This girl went through a lot. She lost her brother recently, a few months ago. She suffered from alcoholism, depression, and she just released this. And this is this statement and comment. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, this got her killed." I don't believe that. I think we need to understand that you go with what you know, and she's been through a lot, but here it is.
A huge life, and I thought I was so mature at 18. Scientifically, her frontal lobes don't develop until we're 26, 25, 26. So even though I felt like I could make healthy decisions, safe decisions, I wasn't capable of being fully aware of what was going on around me. And it wasn't until I found myself in predicaments that I realized, my perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. And it was that moment shook me and was shocking. And I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. So it took me, I was shocked. It took me by surprise.
So I'm going to tell you one thing. An addict recognizes another addict.
And I'm not here to disparage. I'm not here to, shame her in any way. It makes my heart sick when I saw that. It just hit the floor that when she died. And it's horrible, just like Heath Ledger. And my son is named after Ethan Hawke and Wolverine. So there's not a chance for Weapon X to die, but Ethan Hawke is going to be a big one for me, but my daughter is named after Elise McKenna from Somewhere in Time and Hayden Panettiere, and then Ethan Hawke, and then Logan is Weapon X. So, that's hard for me. And I've watched this girl grow up, and I've watched her do movies, and I've watched what she's become. And I out of all the people you could tell me that she was going to die, I wouldn't have picked her. But you can tell from this interview that she's under the influence. And I can tell. $20. Dana Christian said, God bless you. Thank you, Dana. Many hands make light work. Ain't that the truth? Thank you so much, Dana. That it does help. Every donation helps. Every donation gets us there. $194. We're close. We've already got the overtime. The price is paid. Just not the debt, I guess. I don't know what to say. Here's the rest of this.
And it was led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down, down the stairs, and it was as like a surprise, presented as though it was like a surprise, and it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this, like this was just, an average day for him. This is something that happens all the time. And I waited for her to leave. And I mean, that lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide. And I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. There was no jumping off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to. I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
I mean, it's such a horrifying event to go through. And to be put in that position at 18 years old.
And disappointing when somebody lets you down like that. And I'd been let down so much before, and that when you really find somebody that you trust, like, you hold on to them for dear life, and you feel so...
I feel so horrible for her. It's a waste, and it's a shame, and it just sucks, It absolutely sucks. And I think of my own daughter when I see her, because although not the same age, definitely the same spirit. Folks, if you haven't had a chance, please hit the like button, share button. If we can't hit goal, we can at least do that. I know it's a little bit late. People are logging off. So I am going to head out. And I think that covers the Lindsay Clancy trial. I'm going to do that tomorrow. It is too late. I do want to talk. You know what? I do want to cover one thing. And this kind of ties into what we were just talking about. This is Dean Withers. I don't like Dean Withers. I don't like Dean Withers at all. I think Dean Withers is a pretentious douche. I think he's an opportunist. I think he lies. I think he uses AI for his debates. I thought the way he treated Charlie was completely BS. I'm not a Dean Withers fan. I think he's one of these punks that is just an internet tough guy who thinks he's all this. But he has some accusations against him that allegedly he forced underage boys to have sex with him. You guys know how I feel about this. You know how I feel about people who violate children. I take it seriously. But Dean Withers is a victim,
and according to him, sexual assault, and that's a shame. I think people are really horrible. And even though Dean Withers is a horrible human being, and I don't feel empathy for him because I'm not an idiot, and suicidal empathy is not my thing. I don't feel empathy for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are the bastions and bearers of their own cruxes. But I don't think anyone should be held accountable and used to try to cut them because of sexual assault. That scar runs deep enough, and it doesn't need your help. I'm not a big fan of this. Even though Dean Withers has accused President Trump of being a pedophile and a rapist and all the shit that he's said, yes, I agree that he's a horrible piece of shiznit. But I don't think two wrongs make a right, and I don't think doing this to him is acceptable. But I just figured I'd show it to you. Here it is.
Proven wrong, I do agree with you, but I'm just saying it hasn't been proven wrong.
I absolutely okay.
To me,
So
it
somebody,
hasn't been proven wrong.
I proved it wrong by showing that the DMs were fake. Fuck you.
And listen, it can
No.
be fake.
No. Did I show? Shut up. Did I show that the DMs were fake?
Give me a little anxiety, Pen, all right?
Answer the question. Yes, I am. I am getting loud. I am getting upset. You are accusing a victim of domestic violence of raping somebody after I've proven that they're completely fake. All right,
right? You're a victim because you're on the receiving end. Yeah, keep running from the truth.
Why would you do this, Dave?
Listen, we get to be Trump right now if you
why,
want to.
Just why would you do that? Why would you say that shit, bro?
Listen, just listen. Just go hit your anxiety pen and we can
Why
debate
would you
Trump.
say that?
So you're getting...
They're trying their best, guys. They're trying their best, bro. They're really trying their best. Fuck. Fuck, dude. God, man. Welcome into U-Sport Trump.
Listen, dude, the internet is a tough and ruthless place. You gotta have your 6 shooters on, and you gotta go ahead and take off the cast iron plate from the door of your furnace and tie some rope around it like Marty McFly and put it on your chest if you're going to be playing this game. It's ruthless. If you have any insecurities, they'll find them. And I just tell people mine. I don't care. I don't like to feel stupid. I don't like people to attack my physique. That's about it. Oh yeah, don't tell me how to treat my wife. Like, can't stand it. Those 3 things bother me. But that's it. And you can do those things. $100, JD Stillwell. JD, I love you. Help out this week, dummies. Show needs the help. It does need the help. And I appreciate you doing that. It's not like we're going to die. But the goal is important because it helps fund the show. So we thank you so much, JD. We appreciate you. I don't care about staying. I love this show. I can do this thing 4 or 5 hours a night. I don't care. It's not about the money for me. It really is not about the money for me. I try to stay on because I want to try to hit goal. That's all. I just want to try to hit the goal. That's all. It lets me, it's a barometer. It lets me know where we're at. But you got to get some thicker skin in this game, dude. You're going to get cooked. Like, why do you give a shit what people say? Did you sexually assault those? Then who gives a fuck? If you didn't do it, you know how many times I get called a pedophile a day for a person who was raped twice? Who cares? You want to call me a racist? Okay. You want to call me a homophobe and a xenophobe and a transphobe? Okay. I don't care. You want to question my service? You want to question my family? I don't care. You mean nothing to me. I only allow people who mean something to me. What makes you think that I am open or have requested your opinion on who I am? I don't give a shit. And the only reason for Dean to get upset and cry like that is because he's got a conscience that's struggling with some things and struggling with some guilt. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it screams out to me. JD says, well, you're obviously doing it for me, brother. Dummies, chip in when you can, please. So, thank you, Jade. I just, it comes down to this. If you have a choice to participate in this stuff or not. Like, my engagement with the trolls is of my own volition. There's times I'll go weeks without engaging with balls. Then there's times I just laugh at him just to make sure he keeps coming around. That's the only thing I want. I want him to keep coming around. That's my goal. Because my trolls have made me successful. Folks, we're hitting 425,000. We're going to hit 426. We're moving. Instagram, it's like 57,000 people. TikTok's starting to climb up. X is starting to move. We're good. Keep growing. Keep hating me. My haters are important to me. I love them. I need them. We also need $6. I want to try to hit goal. So I don't like people using sexual assault to cripple somebody, but they're going to use whatever they want. They're going to use whatever they can. Yep. Harry Sassan's a piece of work too. If you enter this game and you do this, you break down people and you use their opportunities against them with no just cause, it's you deserve it. You deserve what you get. That's one thing. You can say a lot of things about me, but I do not try to attack people unless they attack me first. That's it. You attack me, you come at me, I'll come right at you. Let's look at the people who've done it on this show. Let's look at the people. You attack me, I'm coming after you. And there's times where I've, especially now, have learned to let it go. And people will say things and I blow it off. Like Debbie, who I love to death, said I was menopausing tonight. She spelled it wrong, by the way. And said Matt's menopausal. And my comment to come back was, well, it can't be that bad if you can't even spell it. But I didn't say that, and I didn't do it because I love her and she's awesome and she can say that. But there were times where I used to take that shit personal, and I've lost good people on this show, people who I was wrong. I said something, opened my mouth, and I got yippy yappy, and I lost good friends. Loretta says, I want to write a book, but afraid to put it out to public to criticize. That's not what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of people being critical. That's not it, Loretta. That's not the truth. Loretta, call in. That's not what you're afraid of. That's not that. You don't give a flying shit about that. That's not what you're afraid of. I know what you're afraid of, and it's not that. I know why you don't want to release a book. It has nothing to do with people criticizing you. That's not the truth. I don't believe that for a New York minute. I've talked to you enough and I've spent enough time with you to know that that's not true. I think you're worried that they may not be receptive to what you say. I think you're afraid people won't like it. I don't think it's people being critical. Matt, those people have no problem calling our president a pedophile, but when they are called it, they start crying. It's called karma. Well, that kid's got some trauma, right? That kid, I believe he was probably assaulted. And I think I've seen Dean Withers show some contrition before. I have. And that's better than Harry Sasson and all those others who never do, but I don't feel empathy for him. I think he made his own bed and he's sleeping in it. Loretta, I don't think you're afraid of people criticizing you. I don't think that's what bothers you. Loretta, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong there? Is it really criticism, or are you afraid people won't like what you have to say?
Both.
Okay. Because I think you're too tough for criticism. I don't think you'll let that like water off a duck's back. I think you might question whether what you have to say is important enough to justify a book. And the only way I can answer that question for you is write it and then find out. Right?
Well, don't know at my age now. I don't know. Gone through all the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could take criticism. I get emotional too easy.
Sure. Most women do.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they were good in office.
Well, the funny thing is so do men, especially lately. We get emotional.
Yeah.
We get emotional in a different way. Loretta, I think this is that people make a lot of excuses to do the things that they don't want to do, knowing that it doesn't get them to their goal because they've become satisfied with procrastination and a hope for better tomorrow, you know? And I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it this. It's like working out. I didn't want to run this morning. I didn't want to lift this morning, but I did it anyway. This is what you should do. My recommendation is start with the first word. Start with the first word.
I've been doing that. I took 8 English classes in college.
Yeah.
English literature, poetry, women's studies. And I even wrote papers for one of my college teachers.
Yeah.
That wanted to go to a teaching conference down in Texas, and she wanted to win the trip, so she asked me to write a letter on her behalf.
Did she win, or did you win?
I don't know. I thought, oh my God,
Did she ever call you again?
I wrote the letter for her and emailed it to her on Blackboard, and I thought, if I don't do this good, she might fail me in my class. So I wrote it, and I sent it to her, and I told her to feel free to take or add or make it ever how she needed it to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she sent a letter back to me, which I printed off and kept, and said that I made her sounded really good. And that was the line that she said in when she asked me to do it. She said, I know if you read it, that they will look at it and maybe consider me.
Okay.
I thought, well, that's putting a lot of pressure on me. So
yeah.
Anyway, I wrote the letter, sent it to her, and no, she didn't get to go to the conference.
Okay.
But it was talking about teaching by the internet and how that could, because it was an internet course.
All right, so let's not talk about her anymore because I don't give a shit. I want to talk about you. So, what is your book? Your life story? Is it an autobiography?
Well, I thought about it, but then I know that Loretta Lynn wrote her book, and a lot of people didn't believe things that she wrote.
Who cares? Who cares? Do you know what the Greeks? Do you know what the Greeks in their obituaries what they asked?
What? I didn't hear all the questions.
No, it's okay. What the Greeks asked when a person died, what they would ask about that person.
No, I don't.
Did they live with gravitas? Did they live with passion? They didn't care about their earthly possessions. They didn't care about their riches. They didn't care about their status. They didn't care about their family lineage or their lines of nobilities. Did they live with passion? Did they live with gravitas?
Well,
well, hold on, I'm not done. So you need to ask yourself the question, are you living with passion? Or are you predicating your life on other people's opinions? Do you think I wasn't judged by the powers that be when I started doing a podcast and left corporate America? Do you think I wasn't known in corporate America? because I was. You don't work for the companies I work for unless you're known. I've been headhunted by Starbucks, headhunted by Google, headhunted by Facebook, headhunted by Apple, headhunted by NBC Comcast. I've been
and I think that's been very successful for you.
Yeah, but people look now, and there's people who ridicule. There's people who send emails and say, "I can't believe how you should be a president of a company. You should be a CEO by now. Look what you're on a podcast. What a loser. What are you doing? How can you provide for your family? Why are you begging for donations? You made high six figures in your life. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Do you think I give a rat's ass what people think?
Well, I guess probably I shouldn't.
No, you should, but you shouldn't let it stop you from doing. You should actually let it fuel you. See, the thing is when people get criticism, instead of using it, here's my analogy, okay? And you're calling into a talk show, so you know how I am. I ramble, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Feedback, people say, is a gift. Feedback's a gift. Feedback.
Yeah,
it's not. It's a bomb. It's a bomb, Loretta. It's not a gift. And you have a choice to let that bomb go off inside you and blow you apart, or dismantle it and use the parts and build something else. Feedback is not a gift. It tears people down. It destroys them. It resonates in their head, and it makes them have this stigma about themselves, and they don't use it the right way. With feedback, you take it, you use it, you lose it. The moment that you start to metabolize it, and it becomes a part of your DNA, and it alters how you act, how you think, how you sleep, how you eat, how much passion you have, it can be a stalwart. But if you take that bomb, diffuse it, and use the parts for something else. So you're not writing the book because people might criticize you. You're not writing the book because you're looking for an excuse not to write it. And you need to find out which one it is, because it's not criticism. That's not why you won't write it. There's another reason why you won't write it, and you have to identify that yourself. So what do you think it is?
I don't know. I went to bed the other night, and I kept thinking that I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I even started, my English teacher in college, we started a group called the Right-Aways. And
Loretta, Ethan's saying good night.
Good night. Also, $6.
$6, Ethan says. Go ahead, Loretta. Ethan wanted to say good night real quick.
Oh, good night, Ethan. He has grown so big.
Oh my God, he's so tall. He towers over his mom and sister. He's going to be his dad's size, so he can be a big boy. He's got that Raymond and Spear blood in him, so he's going to be a big boy. Go ahead.
I guess I could write about many things, but like I always said, you have to write about the things that you know.
Why?
I don't know. I was told that.
By whom?
You can't write about things that you don't know because you don't know them.
Why? Why can't you write about things you don't know?
Well,
see, it's a really good question, because when we were younger, we didn't know anything. We wrote about things all the time. We drew about things, and we would write songs and sing songs and play games about things we had no earthly concept of, because there were no shackles or confines. But somebody told you and somebody told me that we're not creative enough, or we're not artistic, or we're not prophetic enough in our forward thinking, or we're not able to write a sonnet or a poem because we're not morose enough. So we decided, okay, well, I'll just fit in whatever bubble they put me in. I never did that. I told those people to fuck off. And I
can't even find my writing stuff now. I don't know. I've looked. I've
Well,
wrote
what do you
songs.
need? What do you need? Do you need pen, paper? Do you need?
Oh no, I was going back and looking for the stuff that I started. I started back around 1990.
Loretta, what do you want to write about?
Well, I started writing about my life growing up.
Okay.
I had to write like a diary of somebody that, a diary of someplace that's a street, and I wrote it in like a diary form.
Okay.
And
Sure.
my teacher took that and she started red marking the hell out of it because I just made the rough draft and sent it because I was working. I was running my beauty shop, taking care of my son, and
Sure. Right.
I had to get it in, and I just emailed it, and she sat down and started red marking the hell out of it, and then she just got to the bottom of the page and took it and sit there with a cup of tea and read through it, and then she took it over to her neighbor, she said, that was blind, and read it out loud to her, and they laughed and they cried, and then she wrote back and was telling me everything about it and wanted to know what happened here and there and, telling me her reaction to it. And then I sit in the good copy with my punctuation and everything and got a really good grade on that one. And just all the different teachers, the English and the literature classes.
Loretta,
I guess I did good in them.
what do you want to write about? Lady, you are one of the most able-minded human beings I've ever talked to. You're decisive. You're receptive. You know right and wrong. You're not obtuse in your thinking. Just answer the fucking question. What do you want to write about? Stop dodging me and just answer it. Please.
I could write about myself, but that's kind of...
No, don't dismiss it. You're not going to write the sentence, I'm going to write about myself, but that's kind of... No, you're not. You want to write about yourself.
Okay, maybe I can write stories about the things that I've done, but not say that it was me that was doing
That's
it.
right. You're going to use a pen name. That's fine. So that's a great place to start. You need to find a pseudonym. You got to find a pen name. You got to find some sort of whimsical moniker that doesn't allude to the fact that it's you, and you need to find a pen name. So that's where you start. And you need to identify who you're supposed to be before you start writing about others. That's where you're probably stuck. You're stuck at who you want to be, who you need to be in order to write this story. So you need to establish
How would
that.
I arrive at a pen name?
Well, why can't you?
Well, how would you go about
Well,
deciding what kind of a pen name you want?
well, let me give you an example. What's your favorite type of flower?
Oh, my goodness. That's hard. There's
Just
too many choices.
Loretta, will you give me your favorite flower, please? A petunia? Fine. And what was your second? What was
Gardenias.
your gardenia? Okay. So that's really close to Geraldine. Okay. So give me your second grade teacher's name, last name.
My second grade?
Yeah, your second grade teacher's last name.
Oh, I don't want to use her. She had pink and purple hair when I was in
All right. Well, then give me your fourth grade teacher's last name.
that would be Level Crawford.
Okay.
He's the man.
Okay, so but Geraldine Crawford, there, I gave you a pen name. You got to figure it out for what's yourself. But why don't you pick your two most favorite things on the planet? Maybe one's a grandchild, or maybe one's a vehicle or a car, or hell, maybe even a soda that you drink. Because remember, one of the most beneficial and amazing characters in literary history were named after things that make no damn sense, like soda pop. And Pony Boy. Those are kind of strange names, but they're names that worked.
Okay.
So you got to find out what your name is going to be and start there, and then write your foreword, and then start your book.
Can I send you?
Yes. The answer is always yes, Loretta. Loretta, you are one of my favorite people because, Loretta, you are the grandmother and mom I never had. You're sweet, you're kind, you treat me with the utmost respect, and you talk to me like a son. You don't talk to me like some shithead. And I absolutely love you to death. And I would drive you to I'd drive to Kentucky if you needed me in a New York minute. So yes, I would love to read your book. I would love to read a paragraph of something you wrote.
Okay, I will send you if I can find it.
Okay.
I wrote an assignment that we had to do. What was the one guy that a blade of grass?
The Yoshimoto, Admiral Yoshimoto from Japan?
No, the name of the...
Is it a poem?
A poem, yeah.
It's not Tennyson. It's Monroe.
A blade of grass was the name of the poem.
God darn it. Yeah, I was thinking of it. Go to the United States, every blade of grass has a gun behind it. That's what I came up with. But no, I know the name of this.
Tennyson? No.
I said Tennyson, and I thought it was Tennyson. But, listen, I'm pretty smart cookie, but we're going to find out.
I had to write something. I had to write poetry along the lines of a blade of grass. Which is long. It was a real long poem, and I did. And anyway, I wrote about me being an oak tree instead of a blade of grass as an oak tree.
Okay.
And if I can find that, I will send it to you.
Oh, it was Patton. Patten, A Blade of Grass. It's from the Children's Poetry Archive. You ask for a poem, I offer you a blade of grass. You say it's not good enough, you ask for a poem. I say this blade of grass will do. It has dressed itself in frost. It is more immediate than any image of my making. You say it is not a poem. It is a blade of grass, and grass is not quite good enough. I offer you a blade of grass. You are indignant. You say it is too easy to offer grass. It is absurd. Anyone can offer a blade of grass. Is this the poem?
Is it a real long one?
It's pretty long, but I don't know if the one by Tennyson is called A Blade of Grass, but I do remember something to that effect. It wasn't Shel Silverstein. I don't even think it was a kid's poem.
Oh, no, this one would not have been a children's poem.
No, yeah, it would be, like I said, Tennyson is what struck me at first, but that doesn't mean I'm right. But anyway.
Was there a Jonathan Whitten?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not a poem. I'm not too much of a poem guy. Like I'm Maya Angelou, a little bit of Tennyson.
That was a class that I took.
Thank you, Christine.
For playwrights and poetry.
Oh, no. You're thinking of Walt Whitman. Leaves of Grass. Leaves of Grass. Leaves of Grass. See, I knew I just needed to get into my brain. Thank you, Christine. Yep, Walt Whitman. Yes. Leaves of Grass is the poem you're talking about. Sorry, not Blade. It took me a second. I had to get into my brain. Apologize.
Yeah, that was it.
It's beautiful.
So anyway,
Uncle
I
Walt's
did
amazing.
all these writings, and did jailhouse poetry, short stories, tried singing.
Loretta, let me ask you a question. Will you do me a favor?
Okay.
Have you ever seen the movie Dead Poets Society?
Yeah.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Gather the rosebuds while ye may. Uncle Walt, the Sweaty Tooth Man. It's one of my favorite movies of all times.
That was with
Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams. Yeah, my son liked that one too.
My recommendation is if you're looking for inspiration to write a story, I would recommend you go and watch Dead Poets Society and then tell me right afterwards that you're not absolutely encapsulated to write. I do need to go. I've got to go kiss my wife and kiss my kids goodnight, even though Ethan's already down. But I want you to do me a favor. I would love for you to write anything. I don't care what it is, and send it to me. I would love to read your writings. Seriously.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've just been thinking about it more and more here lately.
You should.
I mean,
you should.
I'm confined mostly to the house. I can't really go out and run around. I can't go out and ride motorcycles or wild boars. Mechanical bulls or nothing like that anymore. So,
Loretta, how old are you?
73.
Okay. You're in good health, yeah?
No, my lungs are shot.
Were you a smoker?
Yep. Since 15.
So are you gonna let me come to Kentucky and meet you?
I would love to.
Stop being so worried about what other people think. Who gives a shit? I'm not gonna care. Just drive by. We were thinking about driving out to Tennessee. We were thinking about going to Florida in September and going down to Ryan Weaver's concert, but we were thinking about going to Tennessee, possibly hitting Kentucky. I don't know. Send me your letter and we'll talk about it. Send me your writings and we'll talk about it. Cool?
Okay.
All right. God bless you, sweetie. You're the best.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could meet up with you.
We would love to see you.
I've got my little oxygen machine that I can plug into the car and it keeps it charged, and I'm good for
Yeah. Just make sure you're having a strong heart day. You're going to see me and, all that pitter patter. Tell you what. All right. I love you, sweetie. You're the best. I got to go.
All right.
All right. Talk to you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I want to hear some writing from you. See some writing. Good night. Loretta Lewis, folks. Some of the best conversations I've ever had with a human being are from that lady. She's just so fun to talk to. There's so many people on this show I love talking to. I love talking to Joseph. Love talking to Mel. I love it when people call in. When Sherry calls in. I love when people call in because, in my opinion, it's some of the best shows we do is just talking to people. I love conversation. Like, I get to be me. That's me. That's who I am. At my purest, at my most vulnerable, it's right there. There's no airs. I know that woman's not going to attack me. I know that woman's not going to come at me. I know she's not going to try to cut me. She's just a loving, caring person. And she's so easy to talk to. And that's me at my most vulnerable is who I am. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you. 14 cents over goal. Doesn't matter. There's nights I just don't care. I don't care about hitting it. It's just nice to hit it and have a good conversation. Tomorrow night, it's going to be me and Leeroy. We're going to be here tomorrow night. And then we've got some guests coming this week. It'll be good. I hope you guys enjoyed the Hannah show. Please remember, we've got, what do we got going on here? Debbie says, I would call in, but you won't talk about your feet. I'll talk about them. I don't know why you want to talk about my feet. Lisa Regina was here tonight. Please go over and see Heroic Episodes. Ben Morgan's going to be here on Wednesday. Tuesday, Amber Hilliker. Scott Lloyd on Friday the 28th. September 4th, Damani Felder, my good friend. And then Matt Purdy is going to be here in-house with Olivia. And we've got Damani coming out. He's going to be in-house in October as well. And we've got Chad Prather on the books. We've got a whole bunch of other cool guests. Folks, thanks for watching. God bless you. Take care of each other, please. And I will see you tomorrow night. Good night.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.